Danfo offers unparalleled, curated, and bespoke tours across Africa for travelers seeking genuine cultural experiences, enriched with magnificent sights, sounds, and flavors found on the continent. Each trip is reliably curated to ensure visitors are gifted with an immersive and authentic adventure. Whether you find yourself strolling along the charming white sand beaches of Sierra Leone, feasting on the mouth-watering delicious foods in Senegal, observing or partaking in various aspects of the Isheshi traditional system Ifa native to Yoruba land, Nigeria, with Danfo, you will rediscover a fulfilling sense of kinship to the true heart of the motherland, her communities. Our core values focus on integrity, quality, safety, and sustainability. We are uniquely committed to assisting with the advancement of African infrastructure and promoting African businesses, so both travelers and the communities they visit receive beneficial exchanges. At Danfo, we understand the importance of connectivity, and we have created a model which provides bespoke experiences based on your passions or hobbies. With us, expect a long-lasting spiritual bond between you and your destinations. Live, love, Danfo, Africa. To learn more, visit danfo.africa.
Peace, family. We are live again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru. Thank you so much for joining us. Again, thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed your Super Bowl. I mean, we were actually live during the Super Bowl. And to be honest, I have a confession to make. I had no clue who Bad Bunny is or was. Well, was until leading up to the Super Bowl. I guess when it was announced, and yeah, Bad Bunny's performing. I'm like, who is Bad Bunny? So yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoyed your Super Bowl. You know, my team didn't make it because they suck. And that is the freaking Raiders. They suck ass. Pause. It's just depressing. It's tough being a Raiders fan. It's tough being a Raiders fan. But on the good news is my alma mater, the University of Georgia Bulldogs, you know, we're doing well. We're doing pretty good. So that's the good news. But the bad news is, you know, my favorite team that I grew up with, the Raiders, you know, they've been in Oakland. I mean, the Raiders got to be the only team, because when I first started being a Raiders fan, they was in LA, then they moved to Oakland. Now they're in Vegas. So in my lifetime, my favorite team has been in 3 cities, which has to be a record. Again, it has to be a record. So they went from LA, well, they started in Oakland, went to LA, then went back to Oakland, and now we're in Vegas. So just win, baby. Just win, baby. But hit the like button, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe. Got a couple of announcements. Announcement number 1, y'all. We are rolling. We are rolling to Cape Town, March 25th through April 2nd, March 25th through April 2nd. If you're interested in joining us, please visit donfo.africa. Again, please visit donfo.africa. And side note, I'm so happy. The weather has warmed up here in Atlanta. It's going to be in the 60s tomorrow. I think we're getting one more day in the high 50s. And then for like the next, week and a half, it's going to be in the 60s and 70s. So I'm thinking, y'all, that this cold weather spell is about to be over. Again, this cold weather spell is about to be over, and I am so happy. I am so thankful. So we're going to Cape Town, and in May, we're going to Senegal for the St. Louis Jazz Festival. That is May 9th to the 18th, May 9th to the 18th. Then we're rolling to Nigeria in August for the Oshun Festival. That is August 2nd through 11th. Then we're going to Zanzibar in September, that's September 20th to the 29th for Safari Blue. Then we're going to end it off with Ghana and Ivory Coast and Sierra Leone in November. So please visit donfo.africa to learn more. Again, please visit donfo.africa to learn more. Let's jump into today's topic. Citizenship in Ghana has been put on hold or postponed. Kind of like Sierra Leone. I guess they want to figure things out as far as how to properly um, engage. Well, not engage, but I guess initiate the process or get the oops. How I guess they want to figure out how this is going to be a win-win for both parties. Because of course, on our side, it's hey, we were taken from here. Our DNA traces back to here. Give us our citizenship. And then on the Ghanaian end, and of course Sierra Leone and other countries, it's like, okay, we get that. But how is this gonna be a win by uh absorbing excuse me, absorbing you all? How does Ghana win? And it was some controversy. I know they were wanting like $2,000, and there was another fee they wanted to pay. And of course, people were on our side were like, listen, that's just too much money. Either, we're victims of the slave trade and we came from here and you're gonna give us citizenship. Why we have to pay all these fees? But again, on the Ghanaian side, it's like we understand that. But as the conversation we were having yesterday, some of the sellouts ended up getting sold as well. So yeah, we'll love to absorb all of you guys, but again, some of the sellouts end up getting put on those ships as well. So how is this going to be a win-win for everyone? How are we going to be able to weed out certain people that shouldn't get citizenship? So I guess they're going to the drawing board to figure that out. But I know it had to do with the fees. People are upset at the fees. I guess the DNA test, some people felt as if they didn't have enough time to get all that in. But yeah, some people were upset, and it is what it is. I hope things work out. A couple more people have actually gotten their citizenship in Benin. But from what I'm observing, the people who've gotten their citizenship in Benin have actually been living there on ground for over a year. So that's what I've observed, that they've actually been there on ground for over a year. So it's not, like I said, it's not as transparent or cut and dry that some people are, the diaspora is like, oh, we just got to get our DNA tests and we go get our passports. Nah, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work like that way. But link is in the chat room. If you guys want to call in, you're more than welcome to call in. If you want to call in, you're more than welcome to call in and add to the conversation. But let me pull up this article. Here we go. Oh, this news segment.
Ghana has announced a temporary suspension of citizenship applications from members of the African diaspora, a policy that has drawn attention across the continent and among Africans abroad. Why the pause? Government officials say the current application system has been plagued by high fees, complex DNA verification requirements, and persistent administrative delays. In recent weeks, viral TikTok videos have shown frustrated applicants describing long wait times and claiming some costs are too high. Authorities insist the suspension does not signal a retreat from Ghana's outreach to the diaspora. Instead, they say it is part of an effort to revamp the process, making it more transparent, efficient, and easier to navigate. Why does this matter? Since 2016, people who can demonstrate African ancestry, particularly descendants of those displaced by the transatlantic slave trade, have been eligible to apply for Ghanaian citizenship. More than 1,000 people have acquired nationality under the program, including US musician Stevie Wonder. Ghana's Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Office of Diaspora Affairs at the presidency say their commitment to the global African community remains unchanged, stressing that the country continues to welcome people of African descent who wish to return home.
Joe, Greg Sankey.
Ghana has announced a temporary.
Hey, listen, if the process is streamlined and more simplified, and hell, I might go get my citizenship in Ghana as well. Why not? All right, guys, links in the chat room. Links in the chat room. If you want to call in and add to the conversation, you're more than welcome to call in and add to the convo. Again, if you want to call in and add to the conversation, you're more than welcome to call in and add to the convo. But yeah, if it's streamlined and they make it easier, because I think people were complaining about the background checks, which is, I mean, why are you complaining about having to get a background check done? Again, why are you complaining about having to get a background check done? Like that shouldn't be an issue. Get your background check done. The cost, how short notice. You know, those are some of the complaints. So let's see how let's see how Ghana responds. Here's another one. You guys, links in the chat room if you want to call in. You're more than welcome to call in and add to the conversation.
Ghana has citizenship applications for the people in the African diaspora. Let me explain. Since 2016, descendants of enslaved Africans have been eligible to apply. In fact, more than 1,000 people did. People like music legend Stevie Wonder was one of them. Aisha Speed has also been approved for a Ghanaian passport. But applicants say the process was stressful, expensive, and nearly impossible to navigate. Some applicants found the 1-week deadline for DNA and other documents impossible, with cost also a major concern. And that's according to Dr. Erieka Bennett of the Africa Diaspora Forum. So, why is the government pressing the pause button now?
As a part of a joint institutional effort to further streamline and also enhance the overall experience, ensuring that the process becomes even more accessible, efficient, and also very user-friendly for our brothers and sisters in the diaspora.
If you're in the process of applying, what would this mean for you?
From a procedural perspective, this is a halt, not a rejection, not a denial. So what this means is that it is a delay. And I think that for a lot of people, it creates a lot of uncertainty, especially since it does not indicate a proper timeline.
Are you in the process of applying? Tell us your story in the comment. Ghana has paused citizenship applications for the people in the African diaspora. Let me.
All right, guys, links in the chat room if you want to call in after the conversation. So I like someone to call in and give their opinion on how the citizenship process should work for the diaspora. Should it just be automatic citizenship? You born, you just go and get your passport from an African country. How should the process work? Hold on. All right, go ahead, Louis.
Yeah, hello,
Hello.
Dennis. How are you, bro?
Yes, our rowdy Ashanti man. Go ahead.
I'm a bit calm this evening. Well, it's about nearly 1 o'clock in the morning here, so I can't be too loud today. I'm glad you played the clips you just played, because some of those people in the clips were actually from the government department, and they were just basically letting everybody know that the reason why they've suspended it is so that they can improve it. You understand? So I don't think anybody who's heard the news should be panicking that they're gonna do this and they're gonna do that. I understand that some of the fees have gone up a little bit, and that's because one of our interior ministers, one gentleman called Muntika, actually said that lots of people want to come to Ghana. So therefore, it's an opportunity for Ghana to also get something back, so that because we can't run on thin air. I know black people like freebies, but we can't run a country or with empty, shall I say, pockets. There has to be a balance. If you charge too much, people are gonna say, "Oh, you're trying to keep us out." If you don't charge enough, other people complain that, hey, people need to contribute. It can't be a freebie. Yeah. So I think we should just wait to see what comes back. Yeah. But the statement that they've put out, I'm quite satisfied with it. Okay, that they want to improve the service, and they've got other people involved, such as Professor James Smalls and others on the ground. So I don't think anybody should panic. I think now Ghana have been doing this long enough to know exactly what balance they need to achieve. They cannot make it too cheap, but at the same time, you cannot be putting off your brothers and sisters. We want people to come, but we want the right people to come. And I'm sure you now being an ambassador for Sierra Leone, so on, that some people can just use it as a feel-good thing for a while, a tick in the box. But we're serious about this. We need the right people to come back to Ghana.
So, Lewis, so you're Ghanaian. What would you recommend the process, how the process should work?
Well, I hadn't taken that much deep thought into the current one until the last announcement was done. I didn't know it was about £2,400 that you needed. I don't agree with that figure, but there has to be some vetting process. Yeah.
But it seems like many of the diaspora don't want to be vetted. They just want the passports.
Well, we can't do that neither. I mean, then what you do, you cheapen the country, you cheapen the brand. Okay, then next thing you know, you got all sorts of people coming. We don't really want that. I'll be honest with you, the type of people that Ghanaians need to attract. Yes, we want our foreign brothers and sisters to come, but the particular one that we need a professional class to come. We need the people with their knowledge. I think if you have a particular profession that's going to be useful to Ghana, for instance, a profession that's into manufacturing, yeah, for a profession in the medical field, anything that the country needs, if you got that, even if you retired, you should go top of there should be a ranking. You should go top of the list. Yeah, certain ones you shouldn't even pay at all. Yeah, so that we can get we want the right type of black people to come, middle class blacks to come who have the profession, because we have black people there. Let's be honest. We don't want poor black people to come. Yeah, we want everybody to come, but we don't want poor, broke black people to come. Let's be honest. We got to build a country. You can't go back to Africa empty pocket. Ain't nothing gonna get done if you got empty pockets. We got people who can survive down there, so we don't need more black people who can survive down there. We need black people with profession, so we can add value to our products, add value to our services. Yeah, get our trash picked up. People who lived in systems that work, we need them to come back in every profession. So those are what we need. We need a brain drain to be reversed, so that we can add value to our products, so we don't have to keep going to the Chinese for them to bring their cheap labor over. And so we want the professional blacks to come and set up medical centers. Yeah, whatever profession you choose, whether it be law, we got plenty of law people being produced. We don't have manufacturers being produced. So if you always have expertise in a certain field, whether it be in the education field, bring that. And I feel we should give you quota system. Certain professions, you shouldn't have to pay a thing to come. In fact, we should give you, under the Rawlings regime. I remember one of my dad friends went back. He was a medical doctor here in Ghana. He had a free housing, everything. He was living at Burma camp. He ended up coming back to England because his wife wanted to come back to England, which was a big problem. My dad was telling me what you marry. But certain professions, the government itself need to go more than just letting them free. The government needs to give them accommodation. I think those things are very important now. You know, not just let people. Yeah, people come back, but certain professions, say experienced person in the Caribbean or in America or in Europe, the government should actually pay for their housing, build a house for them. You say this is your house, come, get them back to England, because half the problem we've got when we get back to Africa is somewhere to stay. We're gonna dig into our pocket, build a house, and then get our people over here. No. I think certain things the government needs to say, okay, these are our top priorities. You come here, we'll build this house for you. You come and stay. We've done it before. I remember during Rollins era. So we need to look at it again properly and have different tiers. And if that's the delay, I don't have no problem with it. It's got to be done properly. You know this, Dennis. You take people back all the time. You just can't have everybody coming back. Yeah, but we need certain people to be back. They're professionals. I land my plane there.
All right, good King. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Peace, you can hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yeah, I think there should definitely be a vetting process for Black Americans or Caribbeans, anybody in the diaspora. But I think it should be as long as you don't have a criminal record, or if you did get in trouble, you stayed out of trouble for a substantial amount of time, and whatever you got convicted for is something that they deem is approvable. You know what I mean? It ain't no like child molestation charge or nothing like that.
Yeah.
I don't think Black Americans will be against a vetting process, but I do think that tier of people that's making between like 40,000 a year to like 65, 70, you gotta accommodate those people, because when you think about it, those are some of the most like dedicated people when it comes to the Pan-African thing, because they not throwing their money away because they don't have money to throw away. So if they donating something or they spending money on something, that's something they really care about. So if they could have a system to where they could pay into citizenship and have somebody like Dynus on the ground where he have an ambassador position. So it's a liaison between Black Americans. If we have somebody we trust, I think it'll work better.
Yeah, we got a few of them. I was gonna say we also need a special one as well, Dynus, for the retirees, our senior citizens. They already got money. You know, they're retirees. They've got certain amount, say, in the bank. They should be speeded up. They should be fast forwarded. Those who already retired, they got certain amount of savings. It shouldn't be no question. Come through. Yeah, as long as you can sort yourself out a place to live. And if they've got the money to build a place, I think they should get free land in certain places. You understand? Because we're short on housing anyway.
Yeah, Louis, that free land thing it sounds great, but there's situations, I forgot where. Well, it was in Ghana actually, where a chief gave some of the diaspora free land, and the local community came and was like, "Nah, we want that shit back."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, what that? Are you talking about the Fiancra?
Not Fiancra. This was you know what? This was recently.
Yeah. You're talking about I know the one you're talking about with the
Hebrew Israelites. This is another one which is recently.
Yeah, but you see that chief done well. But what happened is it was so successful that they were going on beyond the land that was originally given. But the chief has a right to give it. What tends to happen in Ghana, and this for my brothers and sisters, don't let it be put off. Okay, you can have a piece of land sitting there for years, nothing's happening. All of a sudden, we've got an interest in land in Ghana now. Listen, everybody's fighting over land. Even bushland, nobody wanted to touch. They're fighting over it today. You're gonna get people turning up, and I've seen one clip that frightened the hell out of me. 3 idiots turned up on a land that was being taken by African American brothers and sisters, and I couldn't believe these 4 idiots can walk onto land, walk up to these 4 brothers and sisters who just returned, and have the nerve to talk to them the way that he was doing. He was basically trying to give them a shakedown, trying to scare them. Now, if I had my way, they would be arrested, going before the law, because we can't have our brothers and sisters coming back and we're getting the equivalent of bloody, you know, what was happening in the deep south with white people, with our people trying that crap. But it was a shakedown. But that's because they're ignorant. They don't understand what some of our people have been through in the West. This is where we need education from the education system, because we're not just working people because they're black. They've been through hell, and because they haven't been taught this in schools, this is going to compound it. So we need the House of Chiefs to be informed, okay, right? And then all the chiefs that's got land, we know who they are. You know, if we can have a public forum where the council chief can be addressed. If you got any land, you can hand over for our brothers and sisters coming back. They will develop the land, this and that, but give up this certain amount, and the government will look after it. So we have a government department taking care of that. I'm glad they're going back to the drawing line because people want to come back to Africa. This is beyond us now.
This why I always say that repatriation for individuals is cool, like that's a cool thing. But ultimately, we need a nation of our own because we don't need to be given no free land. We don't need anything that can be taken from us. We need to purchase uncultivated land and build on that. And if somebody come take it, we go to war. It's simple as that.
Right. I think what's happening is that the government, every time they do something, especially the Ghanaian government, they throw a little thing out there, see what's happening, then they're quite shocked at the reply. People
they trying to tap into the spending power, which is not a bad idea, but you got to do it in a genuine way.
Listen, I speak to people in certain positions of power, and the influence that what Ghana has gained so far, the attention that Ghana has garnered so far from the year of return, right? It's beyond anything they could have paid for, right? It's even more than the actual speed. Actually, was a one quick thing, but this momentum was already there. Now, what I'm telling you is that eventually, something is going to snap. And it's important that the Ghana government prepares. And I think what they are seeing is the response. And now they've got to go back to the drawing board, get certain things right in consultation with some of the elders who we have in position of power in Ghana. But the government has to take it seriously. Now they've done a year return. I know President Mahama ain't going to want to be outshined. So I'm confident they're going to come up with something sensible. So
the president that helps Black Americans achieve nationhood is going to be remembered forever. That's what they need to be thinking about. We going to lift him up bigger than we lifted Barack Obama.
Oh, well, trust me. I think Ghana will want to live up to that challenge. Okay. All right. The people I know will definitely be up for that, but they've got to be, we need something in that thing that all leaders going to come forward, going to go by. At the moment, it's a political thing. Okay. He had done us. Now we're going to make sure we got something better. And that's what's happening here. But at the same time, there's a real call for our people, okay, to want to be attached back to the motherland, okay? And I think the first country that economically becomes stable, politically becomes stable, get the basic infrastructure right, you ain't have to tell Black people to come home. They just got to see how nice Ethiopia is developing. They're already thinking about going back because we're spiritual people. That's how we are. So, and Dinah's seen this with his tour. Right, I like your trotro, by the way, Dinah's on your advert. Right?
No what?
Your trotro bus on your advert.
Yeah, the downfall, yeah.
Perfect, right? So we as Black people, like problem I got with Ghanaians, we drag our feet on certain things. Right now, the marine project should have been done by now. The place that's been developed, right where the Black Star Square is, that should be developed, is now almost getting neglected. Okay, we need to forget all that stuff and build it together as a nation. Let's just stick to our plan, build a nation. You don't have to advertise it to Black people. Black people will come and be part of Africa. Just build the infrastructure. So I want them to get it right and be able to update it every now and then. But we need different tiers for retirees, young people coming back, and professional people who just want to work from the continent. We get that right, okay? You won't have to tell people to come up and down. And by the way, according to the government, the airline is coming on board this year, Dinus.
Ghanaian airline, their own airline. Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah.
All right, let me pass it to Johnny. Go ahead, Johnny.
What's going on, panel? What's up, Dinus? How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Peace.
All right, y'all. All right. Yeah, I like this topic, man. I think that it does make sense that they want to kind of sit down and check out the effectiveness of the process. And obviously, try to maximize the outreach for people and streamline the process so that they can go through it more efficiently. I think that it probably was slowed down, and they're trying to work on ways to weed out and keep an eye on things, but also keep an eye out to make sure corruption doesn't get in the way of the process. And it's a good time now as things are getting bigger, the world is becoming more global. I was just watching this documentary, I think it was yesterday or the day before, about a festival that they do out there with this guy John Connie, and a lot of Americans are interested in going to the festival and who's in charge of the Ministry of Tourism in Ghana, but it seems like it's actually been pretty effective. So I think, yeah, it's good that what they're doing. It's good, like to kind of think about who the people are who want to go there. And
hey, Johnny,
profile.
Johnny, you're going in and out, Johnny.
Oh,
Like your
my bad,
connection.
man. My Wi-Fi is up all day. I'm-
Well, got that J. Edgar Hoover mode.
It might have his headphones on. You got your headphones on?
Yeah. Is it no, no.
Go ahead.
Same thing?
Go ahead. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So I'm basically saying, just consider that a lot of people might be wanting to come and they might fit into different categories. Like he was saying, people who make $60,000, they might feel like American homeowner is out of reach for them. The world and the global economy, then roots back, but they might have that dream come true in Ghana. Other people that see an entrepreneurial mindset would like to go around and have these opportunities, and they do exist in Africa for a lot of people. So just share that with people to understand that, I think. And obviously have an incentive people who are celebrity and people coming with a lot of money to invest to do so in their country. If it is a more convoluted strategy, they might lose on that on potential capital. Because I don't know this for a fact, but I would bet that a lot of these celebrities have a lot of mixed blood, right? So people might have Benin, they might have Mali, and they might have Ghana as well. So if the process is too difficult in Ghana, they might go and try to get it citizenship in Benin, where it might be easier, Sierra Leone or whatever the case may be. So
Yeah.
I think it's smart to take a look back and take a step back and look at their process and evaluate that to try to be as most effective as possible. I didn't know this, but my brother had went to on return. So he went to over there. And, I don't know exactly who he met with, but he met with some chief of one of the tribes out there, and he supposedly gave him land and all that, like y'all were talking to. And according to what he told me, I don't know if it's true or not, but he was like, "You can come back anytime. Like this is a thing for life. I mean, it ain't something that we're gonna forget in a couple years. You're locked in for life. If you ever want to come back and do something." I don't know, but he told me if that is the case, I mean, there might be a lot of spots occupied, but if it is something that's what's up?
Sable was the name that I think Dinus was searching for earlier on for that free land. Sable.
Man. No, okay, all right. That's all I had to say, though. Long story short, I think it's a good thing, and I think that the process is going good in that. So hopefully it continues.
All right, let me pass it to Prince Steve. Go ahead, Prince Steve.
So I don't really understand why Ghana has made this decision, but what I will say is that Ghana has done some tremendous things in terms of its economy, boosting the growth of its economy, how they pretty much turned into a large exporter of gold and coal, and how they, cocoa, how they really just taking those industries and they really made it a big product that they export, and how they're making finished goods out of these products. So I will say that their economy's growing.
Oh, it's gonna get bigger.
Yeah, it's the fastest growing economy in Africa.
Yeah, they've got coconut production coming on board. We aim to be the biggest coconut producers. We've got mango, cashew, big investment, $1 billion going into cashew production.
Yeah.
I think loads of other stuff, especially the oil the oil on land along the water river. That's gonna come on board. We got railways, big heavy investment coming from Qatar, up to about 20 billion long-term investment for railway. So Ghana is really about to take off. I was in doubt about Mahama, but I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Okay, so I was just to wrap up what I was saying. With the inflation, they said that inflation percentages dropped about 11% between December and January. I gotta look it back up again, but it dropped 11%. So the quality of life in Ghana is dramatically getting better. The other thing is, infrastructure wise, 94% of Ghana has electricity.
Yeah.
94% of Ghana has electricity. So Ghana's going in the right direction.
Yeah, we've also started the production of our nuclear. Don't forget, people, nuclear reactor, which should be up and running in about next 3.5, 4 years.
Okay, so now when you start talking about the N word, like Trump likes to call it, because look at Iran. When
Yeah, no,
Iran,
it's a different type of the other one is for power, electricity, so it's slightly different. We've been heavily
well, see. So here's the thing. Iran has a ballistic missile stockpile.
Yeah, we don't have.
Which nuclear warheads can be fitted, but Iran doesn't have a nuclear warhead. But Iran's nuclear program consists of nuclear energy
Yeah,
development.
yeah.
But because they have the delivery system, the ballistic missile delivery system, and they have the stored uranium, they have the stored uranium, and that is the concern. Now, Iran says that they use it for energy purposes. That's what that's what the stored uranium is for.
Yeah.
But the problem is, the United States nor Israel believes that.
Yeah,
And I also think it's
yeah,
also scripted. So
yeah.
the only thing I say about Ghana using storing up uranium and developing nuclear energy is that you have to develop the military arsenal, which if they're going to develop the nuclear energy, they also need to develop the ballistic missile delivery system, and they also need to develop nuclear warheads because that's the only way you're going to protect yourself. Somebody in Africa has to have nuclear weapons.
Right. Hear me out, brother. When the bidding process was going on, everybody came in. South Korea, Russia, the many other thingy came in. I actually wanted Russia to get it, but I understand why Ghana went for an American company because this particular American company specializes in making nuclear reactors just for electricity. Therefore, half of the scientists will be involved will be American. So I think Ghana chose America so that there's no conflict. If we chose a Russian company, then there would have been sort of conflict. I think they chose the American company just to even that out. And but it's strictly for electricity. But this one is a safer version of the nuclear. But it is the number one way to get power in terms of electricity. And we don't really have no ambition to do anything like that. So I think you don't have to worry about that.
But you see, brother, that's the problem. That's the problem. We don't have the power and the we will not the power, but we don't have the desire to nuclear arm ourselves.
Yeah, right now, brother, we don't need nothing more than conventional tools. We don't need it at the moment. You know, we just have to concentrate. The real fight, brother, is the economic fight. If we can't feed our people when they come back home, they're gonna leave. If we don't feed our people with it, they can't get jobs where they are. They're gonna leave and come and do what my parents do.
I honestly,
industrialization is more.
Me being a brother from the United States, I understand. It's just like Henry Kissinger said. You ever heard of Henry Kissinger? He said, "To be a friend, to be an enemy of the United States is dangerous, but to be a friend is fatal."
Yeah. I get you.
The brother said that. The brother said that. So don't blink twice.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Nuclear arm yourselves. Arm yourselves with a nuke so that you can be protected. You see North Korea right now. North Korea is left alone because North Korea has developed themselves a nuclear weapon. They have 90 nuclear warheads stored up. If somebody messes with North Korea, they're going to push the button.
Yeah, I get you.
I will tell you this too, brother. South Africa. There was a time when South Africa was a nuclear armed country.
Yeah, I know.
And they were pressured by the IMF to give up the nuclear weapons.
Yeah, but after apartheid, I get you. But without getting from the subject too much, brother, I hear what you're saying. Right now, Ghana has to concentrate on being the economic powerhouse that it needs to be. We don't have to worry about it. I know what you're saying. We don't have to worry about it too much. We just got to balance it. How we do the international thing as well as a home thing at the moment. Ghana recently signed a thing where they're being trained by French soldiers to do certain things, and everybody's up in arms about it. Listen, we know what to do politically, how to balance the two powers. Let's build our industrialization capacity, infrastructure, get our roads paved, and I know our brothers and sisters, you ain't gotta tell them twice. they will come home. You know, they will come home. Come on, if brother Stevie Wonder knows that he should have a Ghanaian passport, than it's me rather than other passports. If brother Stevie Wonder knows that, what say you? Eh? People are talking about, Ghana, something special. The downfall trotro gonna make his way to Ghana soon.
Yep. Hey, let me pass the mic to Africa. Go to Africa.
Greetings, family. I hope everyone is well. Dynas and the chat and on the platform, Louis and Princip. Yeah, basically, I don't normally agree with Louis, but I think he is a little bit balanced in his approach. That's my approach in general with how we deal with countries. Okay, we need to look at the partners that we can build in terms of industrialization. Because like all these arms that people talking about defending ourselves, we cannot do it if we don't industrialize, like having enough electricity, supply, and have steel plants, to do this work. Because if you don't have those things, then you're just gonna be someone that buying, stuff, from abroad, and then you cannot buy arms from the people that's actually attacking. It's just silly. So in the long run, I think it is better. That's why I closed the program last night, saying out of all the devils, brother was like, no, there's still devil. I prefer the British because the British tend to be more. If they're with you, if they feel like they trust you a little bit more, they will give you the technologies. Okay, and that's what happened with a lot of the like South Africa had it. If you look at the Pakistan, the British Commonwealth, they have it, and stuff like that. And the French will not tolerate you having that. That's the only problem I have with them. You see, because but when it comes to like certain expertise, you're gonna need the French. I'm afraid the French are the best in nuclear technology, especially when it comes to you know um, electricity supply, not nuclear arms. So if Ghana think the French are bringing some expertise in something that they can gain, why
No,
not? And
the French are there. They're there for other training, but the nuclear what thing is done with American company. I hear what you're saying. They did make a bid actually. They did make a bid, but we often traditionally don't go with the French at all because they tried to assassinate in the early days. But the nuclear one, the Americans are when it comes to that, there's certain technology America don't share too much of other people. That's when it comes to the nuclear stuff. So I think it was a wise decision they made to go with them. A particular company are quite well known for doing nuclear power around the world, places like New Zealand and other places. Let's stick to that. Our aim should be industrialization, farming, and all the other basics. We stick to that. From what I see, what the president rolling out, I'm happy with, and I'm especially happy with the roads being built. Next time, Dan, if you're in Ghana, I'm sure you're gonna go part of the way of Accra Kumasi Road. If you don't fly, you're gonna see for yourself. The inner road still needs attention, but in terms of road construction, he's carried it on from Nanado, and he hasn't changed, and he's looking good. We carry on like that. All right, that's all we need in West Africa. Good road, basic infrastructure. Our people,
clean tap water, clean tap water, good roads, 24-hour electricity.
That's it.
That's the main two things. And actually, also, you to be honest, I'm not a big fan of the French. I didn't hide that, but I definitely think the British are a bit better. But when it comes to certain things, like if you look at Ivory Coast, when Ivory Coast managed to get the balance right with the French, they managed to build the country. Okay, and they still supply. They still supply us energy.
Yeah, do you know why the French go out the way to make sure Ivory Coast is always a bit of a shining example? Because they know that's the only advantage that's going to stop the French-speaking country saying, why are you with them? Because they know the financial arrangement is terrible. 80% still goes to the Banque de Paris. We know that's bad. So they make sure their infrastructure is better than the English-speaking countries, which then forces us to catch up. But either way, I think it gets done.
And also, I mean, you're right on that. And also, when you look at, the French, how they build Ivory Coast and Senegal, and you compare to, to other West African countries, you can see they do invest a bit more in infrastructure if they want to.
That's the
Okay,
only thing that they can really buy the people with, because they're always scared that the Ivorians will get rid of them.
yeah,
So
and also the Sahelian countries are still using the French money, and it still baffles me why they still using France CFA
yeah, they're not
after
independent.
no, because someone control your money, they basically control you, and
Yeah,
you know.
that's it. That's it.
And
So
I think they should hurry up. They should hurry up and get their own currency and have that total independence. I would support them more, even though I still support it. Yes,
yeah,
but I think
yeah,
they
this is
should
the
stay away
challenge.
from that.
The challenge. The
Yeah,
French ain't
because we
telling
need to
us
have.
what's gonna happen.
Yeah, we need in West Africa now. We need to have different counter different alliances as long as they are working together in behind the scene. I think that's very important. You know, they could, the Sahel can go to Russia because at the moment they need security. Is their number one priority. Okay, it's cheaper to get it from Russia and Turkey and stuff like that. Fine, but if they need to work with the coastal countries, that always been, to be honest, the coastal countries in West Africa have always been the Western Alliance anyway. Part of Guinea. Guinea was the only one that wasn't in a Western Alliance, and even when Guinea separated the French, they was working with Russia and America. So
Yeah.
in fact, America was the second country that signed a trade deal when they got rid of the French. So there's a way to work. We need to know this. This is why I think countries like Senegal, Ivory Coast, Ghana, the people are very. That's what I was saying. They're very clever. They know how to get good out of these people, right? And they know how to deal with it. In Sierra Leone and Liberia, we're always going to be, for a long time, we're going to be the last people that's going to be liberated by the West if we want to leave. But because we always, they own these lands, yeah.
Right,
But
listen.
yeah, go on.
Right. Have you seen the recent
Yeah,
discovery?
you got a minute. I got to pass it to Delroy.
Okay. Have you seen the recent
Okay.
discovery of minerals in Sierra Leone and Liberia in terms of gold? And that one is not even deep in the ground. It's a smaller population developed.
Sierra Leone is the Mano River Union is the Mano River Union, Sierra Leone, Liberia, and Guinea. Is well, I don't know why people are poor in that region. It is rich, it's filthy rich. The diamonds are visible. I have found diamonds myself when I was young. Okay, and the gold is in the rivers. It flows in the rivers. If you go to like the Mano River, the way they get gold over there, I wouldn't go into details, but it's absolutely rich, filthy rich with mineral resources.
Let's pray for good leaders. But I
Yeah,
agree
that's it.
with what Ghana are doing at the moment. Let's get it right.
I know.
Let's get the right.
And also, we need to change our minds.
Let me pass the mic to Delroy. Go ahead, Delroy.
Al, why are you so obsessed with these cracker British people? Huh? What?
Okay,
what?
we want to answer it. We want to answer it.
Yes, answer it before I go on.
Okay. Out of all the colonies in the British, all the countries that British colonized, if you look at, how they
I live
left.
in one of them, so go ahead.
Yeah.
I know. But if you let's go to West Africa, for example. Okay, if you look at the British when they came to Sierra Leone during the war, okay, they built a base. I don't know if you know about the SAS. You know them, and the SAS came to Sierra Leone, yeah, and they helped us out, just like the Russians did in the past, and they packed their bags and went. Okay, and we didn't ask them to leave. In fact, people wanted them to stay a bit longer. They trained our police, and they went. But I guarantee you, if it was France, America, or any other country, it would have been a problem to get rid of them. That's one. Number two, they do not control your currency. Because when someone controls your currency, they control you. Because the world that we're living in is a capitalist world, you like it or not. Okay, that's number two. Number three, the British people one of the first people, like for example, like Jamaica. If you don't, I don't know if you know that anyway. Because Jamaica, most of the slaves were taken to Jamaica by the Spanish. Well, eventually, even though they were slaves under the British also, but eventually it was the British who actually started fighting against slavery. I live in a city. I see statues of abolitionists, white people, British people who started losing their life. Okay, for the ending of slavery. When we're talking about, like the Black History Month and stuff like that, we need to include people like that also, because you cannot walk on your own. You didn't know that there are loads of British people that actually died, for fighting for the blacks to be freed in the UK. Okay, I'm just responding then, Delroy. Okay, if you look at the French, if you look at the Francophone African country. They're not free. That's why they're all in military coups. That's why the insecurity is worse. The Niger Republic, the Mali, the Burkina Faso, and all the way to Chad, Central African Republic. Name me. They're very brutal. The French are forgive me. They're just assholes. You know that anyway. They're right. It's simple. They're the better devils than the other devils. Okay.
Okay. Listen. Both the British, the French, the Americans, they only do things that benefit them. They did no significant development nowhere. Okay, and the Spanish initially brought slave to our ancestors to Jamaica, but the British bought the most, right? And they controlled Jamaica up until today. The king is ahead. The king is ahead of Jamaica. You understand what I'm saying? We can't. In the end, it may look. You see, but on paper, the king of England, not the government of England, the king of England is the head of Jamaica. Okay, British. No, let me finish. The British. You see what I'm saying? As far as development, they didn't do a goddamn thing. Significant development right now is done by the Chinese. Okay, and the same thing in Africa. You see what I'm saying? The British only do things for the benefit of themselves. They still own land in Jamaica right now. You see what I'm saying? Lots of land also. Some of these land is sitting down not doing a goddamn thing, and a lot of it was exposed during this last hurricane that we had. You see what I'm saying? Now that's what I'm gonna say on that part. The other part I'm saying, right? As far as Ghana, because the subject is about Ghana, right? You see what I'm saying? Right now, I don't think no African American or nobody in diaspora should be going to Ghana at this point until we find out where Ghana stands. You see what I'm saying? Because they have American base there, right? And now the French is coming in there to train their so-called people that I think mining. That's stealing mining, illegal mining, or something like to train. You actually need bro. I'll train them. You actually need somebody to come and train you, to teach you how to fucking do handle illegal mining. Are you serious? They're there for a different reason.
Hello, brother. The Ghana army has been in place even before independence.
What?
We have enough generals being produced to do all the security we need in Ghana. But every now and then, you need to update. All we're talking about, brother, is 15 experts. 15 experts who just going to instruct certain of the Ghanaian security how to do certain things for a couple of weeks.
Okay, well, you have the Americans there already. Why not use them?
Because for this particular thing, trainees from France do it the best. Okay, so the Ghanaian generals went and got them for this particular thing.
Excuse. At this point, it's not terrorists. It's illegal mining. It's illegal mining. You're telling me they can't secure themselves for that?
Brother, you know how well this miners are become now?
I don't care if they have missiles.
The Ghana government know what they're doing. Okay, the Ghana army has been established quite well for some time. Kept the country safe for some time.
Well, why can't they do them something if they're so established? No, why you need some cracker from France to do it? I don't understand.
I tell you why. Because the crackers got the best security. That's why you can't become a European.
Crackers got the best security.
Yeah.
Sadly, they do.
You don't. At this point in your life, you cannot train your own soldiers to do the right thing. You need these people to train you. Are you serious?
Please, 1 second. Daryl, how can you do that, Daryl, and without an industrialized nation, without a steel plant, without 24, that's not this energy sector.
Industrialization,
How are you
you just
going
see
to do
that
that?
guy. You're trying to tell me these people outsmart you? These random people in the bush are outsmarting the soldiers. Are you serious? Come on, man. Come with some serious shit, bro.
Hold on. Guys, one mic. Delroy, you see what's going on in northern Nigeria? I mean, the answer is yes, they are, Delroy. They are.
You know, we have listen. The Ghana
They
army.
are pathetic, Dynasty. Give me a goddamn break. Are you serious? Man, you guys cannot convince me of a nothing. This is 2026. We're in 2026.
My brother, cool. Chill.
Are you serious?
No. I'm serious. You listen. You've been too emotional, brother. Chill.
Emotional what? Emotional what?
Hang on. The Ghana army know what they're doing, but there's certain stuff that you still need experts to come and do. Okay, so
if
y'all are pathetic, then, bro.
No, hold on. Hold on.
That the French are going to do a coup d'etat through Ghana and go and attack Burkina Faso, brother. Chill. It ain't like
they can't do a coup in a Commonwealth country. That's
bro.
You know that anyway.
Forget about that part because that ain't gonna happen. You understand?
Exactly.
That ain't gonna happen. Men is in goddamn Burkina Faso. They're building their own damn country themselves.
Oh, here we
go. Yeah, I agree. But Louis, one point. Where I'm gonna cite tiny bit with Delroy here.
Y'all is some slave ass.
Wait, Okay. When the US base, when the US start having their presence in Ghana, that's when I remembered reading reports. That's when the problem. No, not the base. Not the base. When they start having presence in Ghana, because I remember doing
the peace order before independence. What's the problem?
Yeah. No. Wait. The fight, the war on terror. The war on terror. When it came to Africa, Ghana, it was one of the countries who signed that pact. Okay, they signed that pact to the US. That's one of the pacts that made the US to be allowed to be present in Ghana. Okay, and I remember. I know, but they did not sign that pact. Okay.
Hey, guys, I need to pass the mic to M. Go ahead, M.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. I want to read. Can you hear me?
I mean, yeah. Go ahead.
You can hear me. I want to respond to Dynas's open monologue because that's what I heard as far as like there's no more citizenship or citizenship in Ghana and other places. It's kind of slowed down and stopped. And also I want to comment about what I heard about the brother talking about the N-word dealing with Russia and France and whatnot and Asia. You see, Ghana, since their inception, they had a man named Kwame Nkrumah. He went to America to an HBCU called Lincoln University, got his education right. He went back to Ghana, became the president. They got independence from Britain. So they want a hydroelectric dam. He want to build a dam. Instead of him coming to America and going to the black engineers, because we got black engineers, he goes to an Italian company, a European company, to build the dam. The dam never worked. It still doesn't work, and they have been bankrupt. So the point I'm trying to make is, you hear me? So the dam doesn't work. It's still there abandoned. So what I'm saying is,
no, it works perfectly. That's what's giving us 90% electricity with some Ever Express added on. It gives that part of the year. Sometimes the dam goes down in water. It works perfectly, and it was built by Varco. It's an American company. President Kennedy is the one who put him on game for that. It was an American company that built it, brother. You need to.
It was an Italian company, and it failed. But that's not the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is this, right? Listen, let me finish what I'm trying to say. You're not letting me finish. You see what I'm saying? The point I'm trying to make is we have been allowing Africans to come to our schools since they was able to come to America since the 1960s, 50s. We've been allowing them to move into our communities, get citizenship, date our women, have families with no problems. They have millions of Africans in America as citizens off of our 14th Amendment so that we fought for after the Civil War. Africa is not repaying that they're not repaying that with kindness. Why are we still struggling to get basic, like, okay, you might give a celebrity or some person with a DNA test, but why is it not as open as us? And why are they still, like the guy talking about Russia is going to build them, got a pipe dream about some nuclear power? Why are you still not reaching out to the intellectual capacity of America, the American black people. We the ones like Dynas, he's a perfect example, is the one reaching out to y'all. We have the capacity to really help Africa. Sierra Leone has the African Development Bank, which is like the catalyst for development. And that's a colony that we set up, really. You could say the British set it up because, you know, a lot of people, when the American Revolution went over. But that's what a African Investment Bank is, a place where there's our descendants are, or our relatives are. But it shouldn't be this hard for us to get citizenship. Yeah. So I think we should rethink our approach to Africa, because in 2026 it hasn't. Like Dinah said in the beginning, it's a done deal. Like it's like you can say you're gonna get this DNA test, but it's not happening. They're not giving us the citizenship. They're not giving us what we're giving them.
Brother, since the year of return, literally almost every year, it's about 500
That's
people.
That's not citizenship. Brother, that's tourism.
Brother, that's not tourism. Brother, listen. Every year since the year of return, over 500 people have received, and every year, that's since the year of return, it's got bigger every year. Have got their citizenship. This is
how many Africans got citizenship of marrying black women?
African Americans. You can check the record for yourself, brother. Okay, we got more African Americans coming to us than any other place, and we made it easy.
In the millions?
What they're doing?
Is it millions?
But how come they gave Syrian and white people citizenship?
And millions is not millions at all.
Answer the
you
question.
got millions of Africans over here with black women wives.
How come
how many million African?
Arabs and white people got citizenship?
Because that were they naturalized.
I don't care. They still got it.
Yeah, they naturalized.
Yeah, but they still got it.
I think you guys should listen to Dinah.
They went there and they still got it.
Yeah, after how many years? We're letting people in within a year, couple of months, and people still complaining. Come on, brother.
I said, why did white people and Arab people that's not born there got citizenship with no problem?
They naturalized, just like they get here in America.
I know what naturalized is, bro.
Yeah.
So
just like naturalized.
African American naturalized them.
Yeah, you can 100%.
But that's what I'm saying.
No, okay.
Why they got citizenship?
I'm gonna ask you a question. So with African Americans, we're getting to skip the line. The Arabs, they have to naturalize. Like you got to be there like 6-7 years.
Yep.
And you have to have a business.
Yeah, but they had African Americans in Ghana for 30 years, and they just got their citizenship.
True. Then you are correct.
You don't have to wait.
Yeah, but that's wrong. I don't even know why African Americans go to Ghana instead of Liberia and Sierra Leone. It's a bafflement.
Hey, bro.
And
they won't get citizenship in Sierra Leone unless they are descendants of Sierra Leone.
Yeah, because Sierra Leone and Liberia was set up for this.
If they have
the
DNA there, I don't know about Liberia, but Sierra Leone, you gotta have your DNA. And
Liberia is probably.
And now Benin is given citizenship also. Citizenship also.
But look, let me ask you this: why can't Africans choose any state in America they could go to? But yet you telling us we should just choose Liberia and Sierra Leone? Yet any African in the continent can come to any state in America, dump a baby, and then that baby could bring in a whole village. Chain migration.
That's not true. That's not true, sir. That's not true. That's not.
Do you know what?
How many million Africans in America? How many millions?
At least 3-4 million Africans is part of the African American population, the demographic and the census.
So what is it? It's over 4 million African, including Jamaica and Caribbean in America. 4 million.
Now, why is there not millions of Black Americans in Africa?
Well, you talk about 1.5 billion population, right?
It's
more than that, millions of us over there. We should get automatic citizenship.
No, brother.
Y'all get automatic citizenship?
No, brother, listen.
Dinah said it in his monologue that there's no more citizenship.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I said it's suspended. I said it's suspended.
Dennis, can I come in now? It's my turn.
Yeah, go ahead, Steve.
All right, so so I think
from America. Listen, does Black people control America? The visa office. Do Black people control the visa office in America?
We control the 14th
Where's the brother
Amendment.
gone?
That's our
No,
amendment,
how
and we
long, brother?
allow y'all to
Hey,
use it.
let's get serious.
All right,
Let's
let me
get
come
serious.
in, sir. So we don't know the reason why Ghana suspended the whole program,
No,
but
we do know, brother. We do know.
no,
The statement been given.
but let me finish, sir, so you can
Oh,
respond.
you
So
making silly statements. We do know the reason. Are you been listening
okay,
to the show?
No, but
let
if
me
you did
finish.
let
Let
him
me
finish.
finish. They just said they suspended the program, but I think to me it's a good reason because um it looks like when you hand out things to people and they don't value it and it become a problem, right? It looks like a lot of African Americans that go to Ghana, they get those citizenship. I don't think they value it, and they continue to complain. When they fail, then they complain, right? Even the situation, dynasty people to Sierra Leone, and they get all this citizenship. What are they investing? You know, I think they should do it in the sense that the way Ghana can benefit from it in terms of investment. You cannot take a bunch of people and just take them and just give them citizenship, and they don't even value it, and they don't invest in that country, right?
But
How
what do you
many
mean
of them
invest?
stay,
Just buying a house is
right?
buying a house
So
and do for yourself and is an investment by itself.
let me finish. Let me finish. So when I went to Nairobi, I would go to Nairobi sometime. Kenya, they don't give citizenship to African American. They don't even give it to anybody. But the reason why they value Nairobi is because they just didn't give them handout like that, like the way they do in West Africa.
Listen, we gave your
So if
president a
We're
Ghana
from
if
North
if
Africa.
let me finish,
education.
sir.
Brother,
If
give him a
if
break
if
earlier.
if they're not investing, let us say Donald Trump is applying the same
What do you
mentality
call
here. I support
investing though?
that,
What do you
right?
call
Well, let
investing?
let
What
let,
is
So let me
let him
investing?
finish,
finish.
then you talk.
Yeah,
So
let him finish.
Trump is saying right now, we want people that come to America that can able to invest. They should not be a liability to our system, right? This is a nationalist government that is in Ghana right now. He need to protect his country, that the way that his citizen can benefit from people that can able to invest, right? Recently, I was looking at this Russian guy. He took a bunch of Westerners to Sierra Leone, to Freetown. They were charging them $140,000 for per citizenship. And now who they died, they have to bring in resources and invest, not only about building a house or about land. No, they have to build factory to able to
It's
employ
not the same
Sierra
for the
Leoneans.
diaspora, bro. Not the same for the diaspora.
Let me
Yeah,
finish
but he's
so
saying to you,
you can
he's saying,
decide.
look, listen to us now.
So my reason of saying this, people, even though Ghana are giving them all these immunities, all these assistance, all these citizenship, I see them complaining all the time. Ghana, they scam us, they do this to us, they do that to us, but I don't hear them, complaining about other countries that they go to, the European countries, right? So I think Ghana should apply the same method that Kenyans are doing right now. If you take people at least 7 to 10 years and see what they need to offer to the citizens of Ghana, what what are the resources they bring it to invest into the country? There ain't being a sense of
Bullshit.
animosity between the
Bullshit. You
African
don't have you
Americans
don't
and the
you don't have
Ghanaians.
to invest shit.
Can
Bullshit.
I
You
respond to
see,
that? Can I
so
respond
Bullshit.
to that?
and this guy is
Yeah, yeah,
Bullshit.
saying
you
that.
can.
Let me finish. The guy is saying that we don't have million Ghanaian in America. Not even half of 1% Ghanaian population is not in America. Let me tell
Can
you
I
that.
respond though? Can I
Let me
respond real
finish. Let
quick?
me finish. So when you say Africans coming over here, you're making in the sense that all Africans coming from Africa to move to America. We don't even have 1% of Africa population in
Listen here.
America. We don't have that.
We're the
Let me
least
tell you
number
this.
of all the people that
Yes,
come
you
You,
into
do.
you know
America.
who taking over your lands, your properties? The Mexicans, about 15 million Mexicans in America. Chinese, about
So let
60
me
million.
respond to
He not
let me
fucking
respond
Let me
lying,
before I
nigga.
lose
finish.
my
He
thought.
not
The
fucking lying.
Indians,
Most of
Let
the
them
me
were
respond
born
Indians,
here, bro.
before I lose my thought. Let me
the, the,
respond real quick.
the
Can I do that?
Indians, the Indians about 15 millions. These are the people that are chasing African American for their neighborhood.
Listen.
We
Let
don't
me
have
respond
no
real quick.
impact on what is it. When you see African fleeing our country to come here, it make you sound like, oh, everybody is coming. First of all, 60% of the Africans that come to America, they probably come for study, or it was a
Middle
civil
class
war
family.
situation that brought them over. Maybe in the
Yeah, or
situation of
middle
Sierra
class.
Leone or Liberia or Somalia. If now no civil war in this country, you will not
Listen. Can
even
I
find 50
respond?
Sierra Leoneans in America. So
No,
the reason I'm
they
telling
never
you
used to go there
this,
to stay. They used to go there to visit because it was
right, they
visa
used to
free
come here to
anyway
visit.
in
Even
the
when the
UK.
Liberian Civil War broke out, they gave them all of them temporary protection status, TPS, temporarily for them
Yes,
to stay. But as the Civil War
anti-reliant.
continued, they gave them residency. That's how the people were able to stay here. And it traumatized a lot of people because most of these people were doing extremely well back home, and Civil War broke up, and they found themselves into the desperate situation, right? But you guys always sound like Africans coming over here. Why you can't cheat now? The Spanish people chasing you people out of all your neighborhood, California neighborhood, all the suburb. They getting rid
Well, I
of
mean, let
black
me.
people from all their
Bro,
neighborhood.
Dynasty
Why
millions
you
of
can't
the
fight this?
millions of
University
the
of
Spanish are
California.
from this country, bro. What are you talking about?
Let me
Millions of the
respond real quick.
Spanish are from
Can
this
I?
country.
Am I even on this radio? Am I still here? Okay, let me
Go ahead,
respond
talk.
real quick. You said we need to bring value to, and we have to value this citizenship. I done seen all on the internet black people going to Ghana building whole neighborhoods. One guy got his whole land repossessed and they tore his buildings down. We bringing value to Ghana, and we also allow you to come to America. Your first president, Kwame Nkrumah, went to a black college and got educated. Many black doctors from
He was
Africa go to
already
our
educated when
schools.
he got there. What are you
What are
talking
you
about?
like?
He
You
just went
we
for
don't even
further
hold you to
education.
that
He was
standard.
already
We're not telling you
educated.
to come here.
He was already educated. He just went for further education.
He paid for
Hey,
it.
don't overplay that. Don't overplay that.
We
Most of
have
our
our
people go
own
to England
colleges here. We
for
build
education.
our
We got
own
universities in
educational
England we go
systems
to.
here,
Oh,
and we
But
please,
allow
don't
y'all to
overplay that.
participate in that.
Don't overdo
do
it.
you
We
know?
don't tell
Do
you.
you know American students used to go to Africa on a student exchange program in
Yeah,
Liberia? They go to college in
anti-reliant.
Africa. Do you know that? They will take
They used
students
to.
from Africa, they bring them over here, so students will go back to Africa
So what?
for student exchange program.
I'm not even going to talk about that. But I'm saying like
Yeah, because you're
we
not
have
educated
great.
on these things. You just say
Listen.
Kwame
We
Nkrumah.
have
He did not
great.
get the
Listen.
education free, did he?
He
He paid
went
for
to
it.
Lincoln University, a black college that we built, and
He
we
paid
allowed
for
him to
it.
get his education.
He paid
He
for it,
paid
right?
for it, yeah, but we could have told him you ain't coming here because you're not one of us. We could have been on this delineation a long time ago.
Bro,
But we let y'all come
lots
here
of our leaders
for
don't go to America
160
for education.
years
They go to England. Just
and
stop
get
all that.
really big and fat off of us,
No, just
and now
chill.
you telling us
Chill
we
with that.
can't get a little citizenship. Y'all done got
Do
real
you know?
powerful off of us.
Citizenship
No,
isn't
no, hang
small.
on, hold
Y'all
on.
done
I
got fat
see me.
off of us.
I'm not against. I am not against African American having citizenship in Africa, and I think it's a different case that other people are making. I understand the difference because one African Americans they see not all of them, but most of them. Those that want to come back to the continent, they see it as a place of their ancestral home that they have the right to, and they want to resettle, and they feel like based on the trauma that they've been put through, they deserve the rights. They deserve the compassion from the African government to actually look into their own
Listen,
issue and say, right, okay, you understand? So that we should make that clear also, because that's very important. And as we were talking yesterday, let's not go back to this black and African American FBA and African, war, because it's not going to help anyone. But however, we need to understand also the African government are not as independent as African Americans think they are. And a lot of their policies and a lot of their things that they do is being directed from outside forces. We all know that. So what African Americans need, they need to have a lobby. They need to lobby the ECOWAS Parliament, for example. Okay, the ECOWAS Parliament have a lot of countries, and these countries are part of they're actually part of the richest countries in West Africa that actually own lands. If you can lobby the ECOWAS Parliament, you will have a good chance, I believe, of having a land somewhere in West
African
Africa
Union
where you could be
would be
given.
even better.
But
Union would be better.
Yeah,
Do you know?
Derek.
Al, do you know that legally? I mean, I actually don't. I want no part of it. But legally, you see what I'm saying? Just like how the FBA, the Jamaican, other Caribbean are asking for reparation. You see what I'm saying?
Reparation, yeah.
They could actually take the African government They could prove that their ancestors are from here. They were a lot of them were sold, not all. A lot of them were sold. You see what I'm saying? They could prove that because it's documented. So you could actually prove. You could actually prove and take them to court. You see what I'm saying? Take them to world court if they really wanted to go that way. You see what I'm saying? They legally could do it. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Maybe,
you see,
maybe
besides,
that should be their second step.
but besides that, besides that, as far as what I think CD was saying, they have to come and invest. No, they don't. No, they don't. And I'm gonna tell you why.
Yeah, but the reason I'm saying
they
that,
do in
sir,
some countries.
Shut the fuck up.
Some
Let
countries.
me finish. Let me finish. As long as you're not coming there to be a burden on the state. If you could go there and take care of yourself and your family, you see what I'm saying? As far as it goes, if you're not a burden on the state, it shouldn't be a problem. No, you don't have to invest. If you want to invest, then fine. And a lot of people from the diaspora does invest. You see what I'm saying? Especially
the
in
reason
Ghana.
I'm saying that is,
You see?
the reason I'm saying that is there's been a lot of complaint. People are complaining that Ghanaians are scamming us. When they go, they fail.
But
They
some of them
put
do.
the whole put
Some
all
of
the
them
responsibility on the
do.
system.
Some of them scams. Some of them scams. It's the truth.
I understand that. I understand that.
CD is right on that.
Some of them,
No matter what, there's a scammers. No matter
people
what,
do
in
complain,
everywhere
and
that
some
you
people
go.
complain too much.
But when
some people are getting scammed
fail,
also.
I understand. But when people fail, they blame the system. When they fail, they blame the system. That's the sad part about it. When they go, they praise the place, that everything is good. Oh my God. When they fail, even if not by someone scamming them, they start blaming the whole Ghanaian community. They start blaming the whole Ghanaian that the country is like this, the country is like that. There's no infrastructure.
Nah. I don't think people are blaming people like that. They're blaming groups or individual people.
Yeah.
They're blaming groups or individual people.
All right. Most people
Hey, look, this guy talking saying that the reason that black people want to go to America is because we suffer from some type of trauma. No, the reason we want to go to Ghana because we have some type of trauma. We want to go to Ghana because we got a right to trap. The British guy that talked, he said we got trauma. Like, this is the condescending attitude they have. Like, we have no trauma. We done overcame all types of trauma. We feel good. We want to go to Africa because we want to go to Africa.
I'm talking about
just like we want to go anywhere in the world. It has nothing to do with trauma.
I'm talking about some of our brothers and sisters who jump on YouTube making complaints. Some of them are clearly mad. I'm a black person. You're black. You know how
we're mad because Africans are showing ingratitude because we have allowed them to flourish off of us. We have allowed them to come and marry our women and marry our daughters and go to our schools and they have given us their ass to kiss.
Don't go that far about marrying a woman, man. Forget about that.
That's what they doing here.
But you can marry our woman. You don't own the woman. You don't own the woman.
That's what I'm saying. We allow you to come here and have access to our reality, the best that we have to offer. We have these beautiful communities in California, in Illinois, and Africans living right in our communities. We don't tell them they can't live here, and yet they give us their ass to kiss and say we traumatized. And we don't show them no type of discrimination.
Okay. Can I ask you a question, sir? Can I ask him?
Some people are traumatized, bro. Some people
are not
traumatized.
Can I ask you a question?
We're not traumatized at all. That's just
stop saying we. You're saying we though. Some people are. Some people are.
Yeah.
Some people are. You can see them.
We are victorious.
But you're hallucinating. Some people are traumatized.
Derek,
I can show you the video that some people are traumatized. You can't see it.
We won the Civil War. We won the battle for civil rights.
You just talking.
Integrated. This whole reality that y'all come to America to enjoy is because of our victories against white people.
We're not enjoying America.
We are the champions.
But let me tell you this. You think that because of African American, that's why African getting success in America? They are more successful African in Europe than in America. And there was no Black American in Europe. Do you know that?
I don't know if you know that. I don't know if you know that.
Immigration Reform Act of 1965 allowed Africans to immigrate to America en masse.
You're
Before
always
that, they
taking
only let the
brother,
elites come here.
brother,
you're trying to
You
take
would
brother,
not
credit
even
for
be
something
here.
that is not
in
true.
Europe and in America,
It's
you're
CD,
aware that
absolutely true.
Africans
CD,
come to Europe and other parts of the
CD,
world more
CD.
than
You ever
America.
been to Houston or Washington?
Yes.
Okay, well, I don't know what's going on in Europe, but those people are successful as hell.
Yeah, but I'm just making
Okay,
comparison. What I'm saying
but
is
there are a
that
lot of multimillionaires over there, bro. Lots.
yeah, but I'm telling you, in Europe, they are more successful African in Europe compared to America.
Do they have
Because
do
the
Yeah,
they have
reason why we
Africans
do they
don't
have
know
a
most of them from the French part of Africa.
and British.
It's very hard for you to know it.
bruh,
But
The
when you
numbers is plain for all to see. The numbers is
They,
there, man.
it's
It's
they
very
got
very
difficult
obvious.
for you to know. Even in
bruh,
Germany, there are a lot of successful
they got
African,
some
and there was
still
no
they
black
well
American over there making it
in
comfortable
the
for
but
us.
they got some
UK,
serious
see,
multimillionaires here, bro. Serious
Yeah,
in
they
the
do.
multimillionaires.
UK, they already know that very well because you know about the UK. The UK, there's no one sector in the UK where you won't find black people. Not
No.
one. Uh-huh. Thank you. So the reality is, all I'm trying to say is, right, we just, my African American brother there, he would rather have Latinos, Hispanic, Red Indian, all the Indians, and all the other races coming to Africa, to America, and he's happy with them. He will not complain, but he will
Yes.
complain about the Africans going to the US
Exactly.
Well,
to do
well, well,
a cleaning job for a living. Oh
well,
man.
well, well. You
You
see,
see,
he's saying that we're not emotional or traumatized somewhat, but he's portraying that also in all of us
Right,
that's been
right,
stolen have some kind of
right.
traumatized, and he's passionate, including the other FBAs. He's passionate about it because he feel away because we are from there. You see what I'm saying? We're not from Mexico or any other place like that. We are from there, from that place. So it's a little bit different. You see what I'm saying? Now,
Mm.
as what Ghana just did, I think they need to do that. They need to step back, right, and hold and put a hold to it and reassess everything. You see what I'm saying? And reassess everything
Yeah.
and then plan how they're gonna
ahead,
handle
going
it
ahead.
from now on
Yeah,
because it right now it's a different reality,
yeah.
right? It's a different
They're gonna have
reality.
Mm-mm.
to. They're gonna have
And
to
I
do
am,
that.
to be
They're
honest
gonna
with
have
you,
to do that every 5 years.
I'm worried more about, I'm worried about Nigeria than Ghana. I'm worried about Nigeria more than Ghana because now, I don't know if you guys know that Nigerian government have approved for the US to build a, like some kind of drone little base. Apparently, it's a minor little drone base in the northeast. That's the region where
That
Boko
will help
Haram
with
is.
security. That will help security.
F- Fine, fine. Fine, that's fine. If it's going to be defeating Boko Haram,
Yeah.
absolutely brilliant. But if they had put that base there because of Niger Republic and the AES, which a lot of people are putting their suspicion into,
Yeah. I think
that's
they're
not
just
going
gonna
to be a
set up.
good thing for
They're
Nigeria.
gonna set up the base for the drone, and that's it. And leave them to it. We've had one in Ghana for a long time. Dr. Mensa helped us set it up.
But
So a lot of
they had run they had run in Niger Republic for 10 years, but it didn't do anything, in terms of
yeah, but who
defeating
was
these
controlling
guys.
it? It was still done by the Americans and the
Them-
foreigners. This is Nigerians themselves control it. Then we're gonna know.
no,
Anything
it's
helps.
going to be controlled by. It's going to be controlled by the American guys who already landed in there with the Nigerian forces
No,
together.
they will teach the
That's
Nigerians how to do it. Yeah, they're not gonna
yeah,
want to stay there and get
yeah.
shot. They will teach the Nigerians how to use it. And they'll
The-
use it
I,
themselves. I say,
yeah, you're right because the last time they was in Niger, they did not get involved in the ground. That's one of the reasons why they got kicked out because the guys are like,
uh,
you just sitting there building bases, protecting yourself, and you're not coming out in the battlefield, and it doesn't make no sense. And the longer you're staying here, the more insecurity is going, more harder for us to defeat these guys. And also, they did have NATO in the Sahel, but did not actually manage to achieve anything. But my problem is again with Ghana, who signed the War on Terror Pact. Since they did that, Burkina Faso was very unstable because, in fact, the U.S. Military used to train the Burkinabe. I wouldn't be even surprised if Traore was trained by the U.S. Military when he was there around that region. But we know
a
for a
lot of us have
fact,
been trained by the US in different things. That's
yes,
how it works.
yes,
Military
yeah,
training works.
yeah. But it's about what pact, what arrangement you got with these guys, what condition,
You
because these
see,
guys are always working with lawyers and insurance, right? the lawyers and the insurance will go first, in everything. So
You see,
what is the
Africa,
path? That's the question.
Africa.
Yeah.
The part I don't
Yes, brother.
understand, the part I don't understand, no, I'm sorry to say this, African American, they are our brothers, but I just feel that African being a very easy target for most of these people. I
I think
live in
so.
Harlem,
I
right? I
think so.
live in Harlem,
Mm, mm.
and Harlem is historically known for being Black American. I live on Malcolm X Boulevard, right? Malcolm X
Ah,
grew up in this place. There are
right.
certain part of Harlem, like Washington High, where they have the Dominicans. You will not be crazy as a black man to go over. They chase all the black people out of those neighborhoods. Not a single Africans over there, right?
Wow.
But
Wow.
for some other reason, the little success that Africans have had, I don't know if that's the reason. They've been very, very sensitive. And I see all the time Ghanaians opening their door, Sierra Leoneans opening, even diners recruiting those guys, taking them over there. But they still complain. There's something that they're not just comfortable with African success. I don't understand. I don't know the reason
Yeah.
why. But
Yeah.
it's if you look at Nigerians about almost 200 million population,
Yeah.
not even a million Nigerian in America. But everything,
There are only
the
2
whole
million
everybody
Nigerians.
support FBA. I want FBA to succeed. But the
Yeah.
negativity, things that they talk about Africa, when you hear those things on the channel, you feel that what is hatred is coming from. It
Yeah.
makes no sense.
What would you say to the white supremacists when you say stuff like that? When they hear that on it, they'll be like, okay,
Right.
it's like free for all.
Right.
See,
A lot of them have
Yeah, I
been.
got, I got you.
A few of them have been set up by this our usual opposition. So I always have to double check things. Without getting away from the subject, I think Ghana has made it easier for African Americans to get to Ghana in the last 4 years than any other African countries that I can think of, or even black countries think of. If they're gonna improve it and make it better, I think it's good. I think every 4 or 5 years they should review it. And they've got an African American department that's part of the government, okay, home office department. So we've got people in positions of power who reviewing this. The other day, Dr. Cambone had a live chat with Professor James Smalls in Harlem. He's back in Harlem. He's going to be back in Ghana soon. About how to move forward and the Ghana government are doing the right thing. Let them have a look at it. They want to streamline it to make it better. Okay, let's see what happens. But there's only so much African Americans want to go back to Africa as a whole anyway. The most we've had, like say 500 a year. Even if we get 300 a year, I'll be happy. 500 is great, even if it's more.
but I think that's
All
the
right.
right way of doing it, right? They want to
Yeah.
improve their
Mm,
system, right?
Yes.
mm,
That's how
yeah.
it should be. But now
Hmm.
Hey,
some of them, those other
guys,
YouTubers,
we got other people waiting. Let me pass Burkina Bay, then I got to pass it to Kofi and Delaware. Go ahead, Burkina Bay.
Hey, how are you guys doing?
Doing well.
Hello, brother.
Good. I hopped on because I wanted to say something to Prince Steve. I also wanted to address I also wanted to talk to Mr. M, but it looks like he left. But it's all good, all right? This is not the case for like all African Americans, but there's like many African Americans that are under the perception that continental Africans haven't been victimized, okay? And this is not to like disregard whatever Black Americans went through, okay? It's just that Africans never lead off with whatever trauma they have, all right? They never come and start exposing whatever trauma they left behind, all right? And Mr. Prince, what's his name? Prince Steve, all right?
Ghana.
I'm gonna start here. I'm gonna start here, okay, with Mr. Prince.
Yeah,
no, I'm talking about
Lewis,
Mr.
No, Lewis, you're not the only Prince on the panel. Go ahead.
Well, I'm not.
I'm talking about Steve.
That's
I'm talking about Steve, okay? Mr. Steve, all right? You see, right now, you're using a piece of device, right? To even spool like whatever dissatisfaction or trauma or like whatever frustration you're having. You see? the simple fact that you're being able to do that, you need to understand that there are many African kids who died in mines for you to even have that device to even do that. All right? Are you aware of this? All right? Now, this is for once, okay? Now, one more thing that I'm going to
I'm
add
very
about the
aware.
same people. Pardon me?
I'm very
Okay,
aware.
so,
They work in the cobalt
okay,
mine.
cool. All right. Now that you understand that, right? You need to understand that those people going through what you just said, they wish they had a Jim Crow to go through, and they don't have it. You know why? Because every single time they try to flee, all right, to leave whatever trauma they're going through, but then there are terrorists who catch them in Libya and put them in slavery, all right? This is like in the event they decide to run away from whatever trauma they're going through. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And like, if they try to do it the legal way, like going to the embassies and doing it like the way they're supposed to be doing it, but then there's all kind of policies against them, stopping them from making it out. You get what I'm saying? But yet there's still some of them, exceptions of them, who still manage to make it out of Africa and leave their trauma behind, right? So every time you meet continental Africans, you need to understand that those are people who came through traumas that are very much comparable to the trauma that you went through as well. Do you understand that? Mr. Prince Steve?
Yeah, I mean, why are you singling me out?
Pardon me?
Why are you singling me out? I'm very aware of about the cobalt mines and the human trafficking that goes on.
Right.
And it's
And
not
this
and
is
it's
for the
not just
well-being.
for American companies, it's for Chinese companies as well. People exploit children
Right.
in Africa.
Because
The Arabs are doing the same thing. So
this is
I'm
no
very aware.
trauma. This is no trauma Olympic, all right? I'm just trying to give you this perspective because there's a minority of Black Americans who speak as though they're the only ones coming from traumas. You get what I'm saying? So it's
Oh,
important to understand that.
look, I absolutely agree with you, and I'm talking as a brother that live in America, that's born in America. Um, yeah, I mean, we ain't the only people that experience slavery, experience traumas, experience being colonized. We weren't the only people that were oppressed. And several more. I hear sometimes I hear brothers and sisters here in America, they love to sit there and say, I'm a descendant of slave. And I have to sit there and remind them, see, I have a American father. I have seven generations. Um, I'm a seventh generation black African American in the United States. And on my mom's side, she's from Jamaica. Um, I have to tell people that Jamaicans were also slaves. That there's a Bahamian Gullah Geechee connection. That African Americans, to escape slavery, they escaped to the Bahamas on the saltwater railroad. And so I tell people that slavery was not just something that happened in the United States. It happened all throughout the Americas with Africans being transported and migrated. And before that, you had the Arabian slave trade where they were taking Africans. And they're still doing it to this day. So our people are not all the way free. I have to tell people this because we are not the only people that are traumatized. You know,
All right.
I
So
would,
you understand that there.
I agree with you on that, brother. But I think what
Okay.
happens sometimes is black people outside of black Americans, African people outside of African Americans, some of them downplay the trauma that African Americans have faced. And they may look at African Americans and say, how come you've been in this country for over 400 plus years and this is what you have to show for it? I disagree with that whole idea because
Brother,
there's a lot of
Okay,
successful black Americans and there's been a lot
but
of
that's
oppression
lack
and
of
trauma.
lack of education, right? Because there is lack of education on both sides, right? We need to learn about each other more. You get what I'm saying? But what
Right,
I'm trying to
right.
tell you here,
but Prince,
but what I'm
Listen, do you think it would be best? Some of our people, when we get online, we need to hold back our tongue, right? Sometimes we jump
I
in.
think so.
You know, you're gonna cause someone anger by, saying something that's gonna hurt them. And unfortunately, I get that from the FBA. I turn myself off, right? That to me is so. I'm like, have the white man trained you to come with this rubbish, like to just pick on people's sensitivities, like you're in the playground? Let's be mature. Much of this fight that people like Tariq Nasheed pull up is school playground. I'm not surprised it was a school dropout. It's like the bully in the playground at 15, going to bully the kids at 12. And, I just don't want to get involved in it because I end up pulling myself down with that. We don't need that crap, okay? You don't get people like Diana saying that, right? You don't really even get people like, what's his name? Pan-African Strike Back. He doesn't even really do that. Mature people like my man Carla, right? We need mature people. Yeah, we need to be mature in our conversation. We cannot allow gutter argument, school children arguments to be the cornerstone of Pan-Africanism. If someone comes on the air and hears them arguing, right, they're going to look what these black people are doing. It gets silly, right? And you're doing the work of the white man for him. The KKK, you're doing their work. They don't have to do nothing. You like Tariq Nasheed. It's disgusting. You come on there, you want to dig African this, African booty scratcher, African this and that. My friend, the African booty scratcher was you. Okay? So let's cut that out. No African booty scratchers. Roll that back. Let's look at where we are and where we are going. We want to build modern Africa. So we don't have to come here and be driving buses for these people. I don't hate them, but I don't want to do that. I want to be back home, adding value to our product so we can have dignified lives. That's better than going around bling bling with something that you don't own. We don't own nothing in America. I'm sorry to say, we don't own nothing. Okay.
And also, we should minimize that. Yeah. Also, we should minimize that trauma. Neither. That's also.
Yeah, guys. Let me pass it to Kofi because Kofi's been waiting. Go ahead, Kofi. Unmute yourself. Kofi, unmute yourself. Kofi, unmute your. Okay. All right. Let's go.
I think he spoke earlier.
No, Kofi hasn't spoke yet. I don't think.
Oh, okay.
All right, guys, hit the like button. Please hit that like button. Also, make sure you share. Make sure you subscribe. Links in the chat room. If you want to add to the convo, you're more than welcome to.
So we got to build Africa.
Okay, so okay, so Dionys, I wanted to add. Somebody wanted to ask me something.
Yeah, I want to ask you something.
Okay,
you're from Burkina Faso? You're from Burkina Faso, right?
Yes, my two parents are from Burkina Faso. I am born in Canada, in the French part, Quebec, the French part of Canada. But yeah, my two parents are from Burkina Faso.
And I know about Nigerians, but did they take like some Burkina Faso that try to go through Libya and Tunisia and so forth? Do any of your people got taken as slaves?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a West African thing. And this is what I wanted to expound on just a little more, because earlier I heard you guys speak about the CFA franc, right? So the entirety of the CFA franc zone all had people who got enslaved in Libya, and the different governments had to claim them at some point. All right. So, and even right now, like it's still going on. Okay. Because many of that zone. Yeah.
So let me ask another thing. Why in hell on earth that these countries that's doing this is not war declared on the country?
You're talking about Libya, right?
Yes, war. I mean, war. We're talking about slavery here, right? Why?
Right.
That's why I couldn't understand Nigeria. How is that acceptable? That's mind blowing to me. Any country that take any country, anybody as slave is war.
They're right.
I don't get it.
And this is just
illegally. They went in there by themselves.
But hear this.
Libya. They walked into the country illegally.
Yes, I understand that. I understand that. But let an American, you see what I'm saying? Let an American. They will go to war immediately.
No,
it will never happen.
I agree.
Americans
absolutely agree,
illegally, brother. Yeah, our
Say it
people
again?
are stubborn. Our people
I
are
agree with what
stubborn.
Joe said. I agree
We
with
don't
what
have that
Louis
might.
said.
We don't have no African country have that might. You know, most African countries we don't have
bro.
that military readiness to do it.
It
The only country, the only
Honestly
country I
speaking,
know,
should. There's no excuse. This is slavery. There's
no,
no excuse.
I know. The only country I
Okay.
know, that have used their presidential jet to go to Tunisia, Libya, all over the Sahel and picked up their foreigners, their citizens from those dusty Arab countries in the north is Guinea. The president he sent his foreign minister on his own
I
plane.
remember that.
He got all the Guineans who in Tunisia, Libya. It's like, listen, come, I got a project for you. I'm building called the Simandu
I
2040.
I remember that. But these
And
countries,
he wait for them at the airports. When they landed, he shake all their hands as a president.
Nigeria have a bigger military than Libya. You understand that? That's not. But that's
honestly
not.
speaking,
Military is not even the point.
Forget Nigeria.
But that's not even the
Nigeria is
point.
dusty, bro.
The
Nigeria
point
doesn't
is
love
slavery,
themselves.
bro. The point is
Nigerian.
slavery.
Why,
Any country,
Delaware?
Man,
Well,
you
sorry,
got
Delaware.
it.
Why do you think? Well, sorry. Why do you think Nigeria, where most of the slaves came from in West Africa, have never offered to give you guys a piece of land, nationality, or anything like that? They don't even
And they
bother. In
should.
fact, if you look at
They should.
exactly.
Okay.
This is the point.
They should.
You guys.
They should.
I agree.
But we're talking about slavery here. We're talking about slavery.
You
That's what I'm
cannot
saying.
talk about.
Okay. How come?
You cannot.
Okay. How come they didn't at least kick them out the AU?
right.
Delroy, brother.
Hey, well, guys, let me read the super chat. Enigma 3747. Thank you for $10 holla. TMITHC. Go ahead. Unmute yourself.
Rise and shine, brothers and sisters. Rise and shine.
Oh Lord.
Rise and shine. Wake up, proud Americans. Tell me about the
This man mulattoism?
No. Let them talk. Go ahead.
Tell me about the myth of Ghana, about a myth of the golden stool. Where exactly is it located right now?
It's somewhere in hiding. It comes out every 10 years.
TMI. Are you mulattoism? Because the voice sounds the same.
Had the pleasure of shaking the hands of the Santihini when the power passed through him from our ancestors right to his bone, and now he's running with that power on YouTube. You see that? When you get the money, you go on Dante tour, right? Then you can go and see the golden stool. You can see it in a museum in Kumasi if you're interested. And it's
what the golden school? What that have to do with
no,
this?
the
Oh my
original
God.
one, the original one, sir. And no, I want to answer your question. No, I'm the man in the high castle. Mulattoism is an associate. Definitely, I've seen him around.
Yo,
He does cook.
AI.
He does cook.
Oh boy.
Oh Lord.
So tell me, where's the original golden stool at?
None of your business.
It's in the house.
We got it. The Ashanti's got it. That's all you got to remember. It comes out every 10 years, as I said. Every 10 years, it has to be displayed and shown.
The original golden stool? Don't the British have it?
We're the only ones.
No, the British ain't got it.
They ain't got it. We're the only ones who was able to keep
Thanks
it.
to Ya Asantua.
Yes.
It must be in the Shanti Kingdom over in like the Shanti region of Ghana.
That's right. So it's a sacred thing. So long as the stool is there, the kingdom remains. So it's cool. Oh, by the way, Dinah.
Thank you, sister.
Yeah. By the way, Dinah, you know that the Kotoko Airport was originated in Nkrumah. Wanted to call it Ya.
Can I say it's Prince?
Well, hold on.
Louis talking.
Louis asked me a question. Go ahead, Louis.
Right. Well, yeah, you know that they're about to change the name Kotoka Airport. They had a discussion about it in Parliament.
Yeah. So they literally named the airport after the guy that led the coup against Kwame Nkrumah.
Disgusting. That was done by one of the idiots who took over. I don't know if it's Akufo-Addo's dad after Nkrumah. They just wanted to insult Nkrumah and then named the airport after Nkrumah.
Why it took so long? Why did it take so long?
This is the question I asked myself as a Ghanaian. But anyway, the original name Nkrumah wanted to give it was the Ya Santua Airport, right? But
that's what it should be.
Yeah, he put it before the Asantehene who just come back from studying in the UK, who he knew really well. He said, "I'm going to put it before the Chiefs." So he put it before the Chiefs, but the Chiefs thought that they won most of the war for the Ashantis. They didn't want a woman to outshine them. So they turned around and said, no, we don't want that name. And that's
They're a
how the
bunch
name
of suckers.
Yeah.
They were about to give the British the stool.
No. What happened was that without her, they would have done it.
They would have gave it to them bunch of faggots. They would have gave it to them.
No. They fought very hard.
Nah, they would have gave it. The woman gathered the men together. She gathered the men together and she protected the stool. That's what happened.
Can I ask Dinus a question?
Go ahead, Go ahead.
Mr. Dinus, how many African Americans do you think should get citizenship, or do you think it should be universal in like Ghana?
What do you mean? How many should get it? I think whoever
like a cap. Should it be a cap? Like five? They were talking about 500 a year.
I think whoever's vetted and can contribute to the country, I think that's who should get it.
But contribute could just mean buy a house and take care of yourself and family.
Do you think we have a right to citizenship? Do you think it's a right? Like you know how it's in Chicago, right? You know when they destroyed Cabrini Green, you heard about that? The project.
Yeah, I know Cabrini Green.
And they told the people that they had a right to return, and the people still, when they rebuild anything in Cabrini Green, the people with first dibs are the people that was displaced. It's just their right. You see what I'm saying? Because they was forced out of their land and they promised them they was going to rebuild. So do you think Africa should offer something like that? Like we just have a right, regardless of our status or our capacity to contribute. Do you think we have a birthright to citizenship?
At one time I would have said yes, but now no.
It's contingent on what? What's the stipulation?
I mean, some folks are just crazy, M. I don't know. I just don't know how they're gonna get
intellectual capacity. You say our psychology.
All the above. Some folks are just crazy.
Well, what right do we have? Well, what is our right, our birthright?
I mean, what did Marcus Garvey say? He didn't want to take everybody over to Africa with him because some people are no good here in America. They won't be any good in Africa.
Well, Harriet Tubman say a lot of people didn't even know they were slaves. So can you hold that against them? Just because somebody got a psychological problem?
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be honest, I mean, if you probably follow Dinus in the future, there might be a pipeline, there might be a way, around it.
But Dinus, would you take Malcolm X? I mean, would you give Malcolm X? No, would you say Malcolm X should be a citizen in the African country?
Yes.
I would change my citizen. I'll give him my citizen. I will give it to him.
But if they vet him, he was a criminal, right?
That's a one-off. Like the Malcolm X example is a one-off.
Right? But that's what I'm saying.
I mean,
bro.
but that's the thing. They use everyone's using the Malcolm X example just to judge.
But Dinus, But Dinus, I know ex-con. Dinus, and their reform and their upstanding citizens making a lot of money.
Okay. So
would I be able to ask a question?
Listen,
it's up to the government.
We got lawyers in Ghana
exactly.
to do that. We got lawyers to do that. Listen.
Like, let me ask another question. Let me ask another question based on the topic, right? Do you think that there should be some type of unconditional love that Africans should have towards us, irregardless of what we're going through? Like, remember when Rwanda, I was looking at a documentary on YouTube, I think about 10 years ago. The women of Rwanda made the men that did the genocide wear pink shirts and made them reform and made them repent, and they let all them guys out of jail. Remember that? You saw that? They let the guys in Rwanda out of jail who did the genocide, and they had to change their ways. But the women did that. I guess the women wanted, obviously procreation, but they allowed them dudes to go back into society.
You have to at some point.
Hutus or the Tutsis. You see, like Hotel Rwanda, when they did that genocide with the machetes, if they could get a second chance, why would they not allow like any Black American even though we showing like we have all this ability and this ingenuity, why wouldn't they
Yeah,
offer us?
but that's different because those you're speaking of Rwandans in
They
Rwanda.
killed their own people off and they let them
Yeah,
out of jail.
but again, those Rwandans aren't seeking citizenship in Ghana that I know of.
No, they already citizens in Rwanda.
That's what I'm
But
saying. So those are Rwandans in Rwanda. The same way here in the United States of America, you have second chance programs. So,
what do we do
that's
to
different.
Ghanaians? What do we do to them to make them not want us over there?
Who told you we don't want you over there? There's 500
They
people
just
got
suspended the citizenship. And Dynas is the advocate. He's the emissary between us and Africa, and he even saying that it shouldn't be universal.
I'll tell you why.
I would say they shouldn't be universal. No, not at all.
Yeah, because if you get the wealth of the West, Black West come to Africa, it would be like pouring what shall I say, torch onto gasoline or something. There's a situation that you have to remember, right?
We're playing science fiction. We're playing. Listen, the point is, for 100,000 years to come, they're only going to be a minute few of people from the diaspora that move to Africa. That's just the facts. Number two, if you guys think that white America, the ones that know, is going to allow tens of thousands to move to Africa, you out of your goddamn mind, because they will not allow it. Some trinkets could go, but that's okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right.
It ain't gonna happen. What I want to say for the black people that interested in going to Africa right now, and they can go, they should not be a problem because it's so minute. There's 800,000 Indians live in Nigeria. 800,000. You see what I'm saying?
Leroy,
I believe.
So easy for you to go now, especially to a place like Ghana. If you really wanted to go, and you thought, come on, you can easily go.
Yeah, of course.
I still believe, Brother M. Okay. I think you're signal, Louis.
Daniel, let me ask you
I still believe, but Brother M, I believe, sorry, I say you can come after me. I still believe that a lot of countries in Africa, if you go there, you assimilate well with them. You know, you got business, you got something to offer. For example, you show them that you're actually from that part of the world. I can guarantee you can get nationality.
Well, let me ask you
Dennis, let me ask you this.
Go ahead, City.
Okay.
Will you let Pookie Ray Ray to go to Africa and get citizenship?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Well,
hell no.
That's why.
Yes. Because Pookie and Ray Ray.
You gotta ask your question. What value are they bringing to the continent?
Well, I asked my question. So that's why it's so good that Ghana should put good system in place and try to reshare for the system and make sure people that go. Yeah, that's how it should be. You know, when Pookie Ray Ray go over there and start causing too much trouble, that's going to be some sort of ugly image on the African Americans, and nobody want that. So it's always good to put good system in place and make sure.
Dennis, you remember the brother that went to Niger? You remember the brother that went to Niger? Would you consider him a Pookie and Ray Ray?
Who?
The brother that was a street rapper. You remember him?
Who?
Yeah.
He lives in Kenya right now. Damn, I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
But he lives in Kenya right now.
Who?
That is about 4 years ago.
Who?
Dynas. I don't remember his name. But
I don't know. I don't know who you're
and
referring
he did well. And he did well. And he made a lot of money.
I don't know who you're referring to.
Okay,
Dynas. Mr. Dynas.
Go ahead.
Can I ask you another question? Because I'm trying to stay on topic, right? Do you think there should be a limit on how many Africans should be able to come here to our country?
There already is. There already is.
And besides, this is a white country. They don't want black people there anyway.
This is not a white country.
America is a white country.
This country was this country was shaped and molded by black people. We defeated the Confederacy. Do you realize we defeated the Confederacy at war? Do you realize that we defeated them in war? We won that war. We did the civil rights movement that made it possible for you to come here and us to go to these colleges, any college you want to go to, any neighborhood you want to
Martin
go
Luther
to.
King. Hold on, and Martin Luther King said that he integrated us into a burning building, which he did.
Yep.
That's irregardless of the fact that you could go to any
It's not
neighborhood you want
regardless
to.
of anything. You keep on saying I'm an immigrant, and I'm not an immigrant.
I didn't say you was an immigrant. I don't know who you are. I'm just talking like America was heavily influenced, impacted by black people. It's not necessarily a
America
white
gave
country.
us little things so we could shut up.
Look, they gave us
Did y'all
nothing.
know that
They gave us
Kwame
nothing.
Nkrumah was exiled and he died in Romania?
What does that have to do with anything that we're talking about?
Did y'all know that he graduated from Lincoln University, an HBCU in the United States?
Hey, slow ninja. Who gives it down?
Economics as well, brother. And
Who's going up Kwame Nkrumah right now? Are we talking about that, or are we talking about something else?
We need to come up with solutions because we have an actual representative called Mr. Dynas who goes to Africa, who probably should be talking to these politicians over there to make policies to affect us.
Do you know how much a slave cost in Libya to buy?
No, how much?
In American money, would be $500.
Okay, maybe I should get one.
That's what y'all practice. Y'all probably already have.
Hey,
Do you have a houseboy or a house girl in your house?
We got to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
Danful offers unparalleled, curated, and bespoke tours across Africa for travelers seeking genuine cultural experiences, enriched with magnificent sights, sounds, and flavors found on the continent. Each trip is reliably curated to ensure visitors are gifted with an immersive and authentic adventure. Whether you find yourself strolling along the charming white sand beaches of Sierra Leone, feasting on the mouth-watering delicious foods in Senegal, observing or partaking in various aspects of the Isheshe traditional system Ifa native to Yoruba land, Nigeria, with Danful, you will rediscover a fulfilling sense of kinship to the true heart of the motherland, her communities. Our core values focus on integrity, quality, safety, and sustainability. We are uniquely committed to assisting with the advancement of African infrastructure and promoting African businesses, so both travelers and the communities they visit receive beneficial exchanges. At Danful, we understand the importance of connectivity, and we have created a model which provides bespoke experiences based on your passions or hobbies. With us, expect a long-lasting spiritual bond between you and your destinations. Live, love, Danful, Africa. To learn more, visit danful.africa.
All right, we're back.
Dennis, let me ask you something. Let me ask Dennis a question first. What if the Pookie and Ray Ray? What if the Pookie and Ray Ray want to hook up with the other African Pookie and Ray Ray?
No. Fuck that.
That's gonna be a problem. That's gonna be a problem.
Why can't they hook up?
No, come on.
Then we don't have more YNs. We don't need more. We don't have YAs.
Hold on. And Delaware, form like Voltron, the Voltron Pookie and Ray Ray.
Yeah, bro. Why not? I mean, what the fuck?
Finish.
How is it y'all allowing slave culture in y'all neighborhoods?
What?
How is it that
you want to bring YN
culture
culture to African neighborhoods?
Key word, I didn't hear you. Say it again.
I said, do all y'all want to bring YN culture to African neighborhoods?
No, God, no.
No, we don't want to do that.
That's what you asking for. If you asking
how come
for
y'all allow
Pookie and Ray Ray.
slavery still in Africa?
But that's what Ghana trying to push.
I mean, they got Pookie and Ray Ray over there, bro.
Yeah, leave them over here. Leave them in America.
They have some in Africa, bro. Why not join them together?
No, they ain't like these American ones.
Nah,
Soon as
they
these
like them.
American ones go to the
Nah, they
African
like
ones,
them.
it's over.
Nah, they like them. Just like them.
How y'all let a Chinese man boss up on y'all and take your women?
Oh Lord, oh God, Derek,
You got a
Derek,
You
what
point.
do
know
you
that
think
would never
about?
happen in the United
You got a
States.
point.
Y'all never.
Derek, why did?
How do
On
y'all
a
let an
serious
Indian
note,
man
Derek.
take off his
Huh?
slippers and beat you upside the cranium?
Yeah, what do you think of Nigeria?
I'm
Algeria
just
inviting
asking y'all, how do y'all allow that to keep happening when y'all
Algeria?
the majority? Y'all the
Derek,
majority.
what do you think about Algeria inviting Nigeria Republic chairman to come and have a chat? Do you think it's a good idea?
Yeah, they should. Of course, 100% agree with
Yeah,
that.
yeah, because he's anti-French. He's very the
always know
guy.
what your enemy's doing.
Thank you. The guy in Algeria and France, they've been beefing for a long time, And remember, he's the one that threatened the French, if they invaded the AES, he's gonna get involved in there. He's the only
You
one
see,
actually that did that.
yes, I remember when he
And
said that. I remember.
yes, and now he called him. He said, "Come, let's have a chat." So
Okay, well,
something is cooking.
I remember. I remember he said that, but here's a problem with Algeria, and it's a money problem, right? They got that corner of Mali. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That is full of gold over there. I don't remember what the area is called, but it's full of gold.
Kidal.
You see what I'm saying? And they really want control. That's why they allow the terrorists to come over, do what they do in Mali, and then run back to Algeria, and they protect them. That's why. Other than that, Algeria helped they helped South Africa. They help other countries free themselves during
Well,
apartheid
do
and
you
so
think
forth and so on. They did.
do you think this do you think these North African countries also find Africans very docile and dusty? Because when you look at the African Union initiative, right, they're the one that bringing it down to the Africans. The Africans are not catching up with them because there's different projects in the continent where the continent needs to be developed from the north to the south, from Cape Town to Cairo, railways and stuff like that. Some of the projects still going on is the African Union initiative, right, which is on the positive note of this conversation, but the African countries are not catching up with them. I reckon they're thinking, God, we had enough of these people. They look down on us, just like the rest of the world.
They've got access to Arab money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a new
What
generation.
African
Yes, that's
country
true.
will make it to the World Cup semifinals?
So they basically trying to separate themselves.
Yeah.
This is one of the reasons why Nkrumah, when he was asked why he married the lady, it was a political marriage. He said he married the Egyptian lady, Paul Nasser,
Yeah.
who was a very powerful man in the Arab world, into Africa more. Other than that, it would have been, sometimes we got to look at is a different type of Arabs now. They're more whiter than before. Okay, and
Yes.
they know
They used to be Tuaregs. They used to be Tuaregs, and now they Arabs and Berbers. You're right.
I mean, some of them want to join Europe, like
That Morocco.
Yeah,
They
Algeria,
want to be recolonized. That's it.
guy, right? But there's more like literally, right? Biblically, anyway, they marry our people with the original Arabs married into them white people, and then these people
Yes.
came. But without
Right.
going,
You're right.
we should realize as Black Africans, we've got to turn our countries industrialized so we can get what we want. Any technology can go east if you can't get it from the west. Let's develop our country so we don't have to walk there. I know a Ghanaian who was a stowaway into Zimbabwe and then into South Africa, managed to get on a plane, come to England, and he told us, I told him about a documentary I watched, he described the route. I couldn't believe it. The guy he had tears coming out of his eyes. No Ghanaian, no excuse got to go through that crap, but he did. Because he thought being a trotro was so bad that Europe is heaven. I don't know why anybody want to understand like that. But if you come from Nigeria and you want to put yourself into slavery, just to be in a white man's place, well, that's down to your dumb stupidness. But you want to cross that damn river, you got to be dumb as hell. So I don't feel sorry.
And some of these people take their children with them. Their children with them, bro.
Right? Because they hear it's so good. Once you get there, you get this, and you get one of them to get through, and then the rest of them want to follow. Some people are stupid. Listen, I'll be a slow in a day.
Africa is a suburb for Europeans and Americans. That's all. It's a suburb.
Okay. Anyway, so So
We can
I
do
think
whatever
it's
we
part.
want when we get there.
I reckon there's two reasons. Either the terrorists are getting hit hardly and Algeria don't like it, or Algeria probably realize there's something cooking
It's
for
what
the
you said. It's what you said. The terrorists are getting hit hard.
yeah.
So they're getting their ass
And now
whooped.
and now he's thinking, why are you guys doing this to our people? And while he's the same person sponsoring them. Because like the middle of the north of Mali, they came there. They know actually those people that you see the Aswad, they're not from Mali. They came there. They intermarried with our people over the years, and then they start getting lighter and lighter and taking over, and they start pushing our people down.
Like in the
So
Sudan.
it's like
In the Sudan.
yes,
We're
yeah,
gonna
same
find
thing,
out
same
this
thing.
month what happens when y'all choose sides with Iran. You're
We
gonna
go
find
find
out
out.
Hey
exactly
guys,
what
one
this is
second,
all about.
City, thank you for the $10 holla, City. I appreciate you. Thank you for $10 holla. $10 holla.
What
Go
this
ahead.
guy talking about Iran,
Welcome,
bro?
man.
Come on, man.
Thank you,
Iran
thank
is
you,
about to
CD.
get it
Thank you.
either between February 13th and Valentine's Day. They about to get it. Is your boy,
If America,
Torre, Black
if,
Winter's coming? Is he gonna fold? Or
bro,
he's
nothing is gonna happen with Iran. Nothing at all.
we gonna
You
take all their
you might
oil.
as well forget it.
We gonna
Take
take all
my
their
hand.
oil.
They're gonna get missiles up their ass. That's what they're gonna get.
We gonna
Okay,
take all
they're
their
not gonna do
oil.
shit,
And now
bro.
Morocco,
You are delusional.
they say they're not going to host the African Cup of Nations again, the Women African Cup of Nations. So they have to take it to South Africa. Yeah.
That's a good
Yeah,
idea.
because the
CD, what
man
do you?
Senegal kicked them off. So the Women's
Yes,
African Cup of Nations supposed to start in Morocco. And now they
right.
say they're not going to host it anymore. So the FIFA is, CAF is deciding whether to take it to South Africa or any other country.
I don't think they're gonna hold the next one.
Hold on a second. They took. Who decided they want to take it? Morocco?
Yeah, because they're mad because of Senegal, took the men CAF, African Cup of Nation from
They got
them.
money for their behavior, you see.
And then because
Yes,
of their behavior, so now,
Senegal was a better team. I watched the match.
yeah, so
Senegal was
now
a
they're
better
saying
team.
they don't want to host the ladies African Cup of Nations supposed to start there in Morocco. So
Yeah,
now they
they
say they don't want to
CD,
host it anymore.
punish CAF by doing that.
So
CD,
they should
CD,
be kicked. They should be kicked out of the
yeah,
out of FIFA.
The next one.
Yeah,
yeah.
FIFA going to take decision on them. They're going to take
How does the
decision on
Black
them.
Star
They should kick them out.
in Ghana? How did they let South Korea just beat them up in football?
Because the game of
Oh
football.
Lord, have mercy.
It's a friendly match.
CD, what I was gonna say, what do you think about the Mano River Union? Do you think Mano River Union is actually something that we should be looking up to in the future, as basically for our younger generation?
Well, yeah, I
And
think
how do you
so.
think that?
Yeah, I think so because I'm not sure. Is Africa part of Mara River Union?
Yeah, they are part of Mano River.
Yeah, because they're giving electricity to all these countries, and we have one more powerful country, the Africans, and also Guinea. They have a lot of resources,
Right.
and it's a very big country. I think it probably is the richest country in West Africa in terms of
Yes.
resources. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the two countries can push off for
It's funny how all these people overlook Guinea. It's crazy how West
Yeah,
Africans
they have a
always
lot of
overlook Guinea.
resources. It's rich.
Guinea is the only West African nation that can hurt the West in their pocket.
Yeah,
Only.
yeah. Yeah, well,
When do we?
Kwame Nkrumah died in Guinea, and Mary
Yeah,
Makiba, they all
yeah,
die in Guinea.
yes, that's
It's
right.
a very historical
Because
country.
What?
yes, because
Kwame Nkrumah,
when
he
do
died in Romania. What you talking about?
No, he was in Guinea when he got sick. They took him to the hospital in
Nah, he
Romania.
died in Romania, bro. He's
no,
buried in
he
Romania.
wasn't he was in Guinea before he passed away. He was there. Guinea and Ghana was Guinea and Ghana form a federation at that time.
False.
Actually,
He died in Romania. You'll notice.
I'm telling you, man, he
Yes.
went for treatment. He died in a hospital over there. So, but he was living in Guinea, Dalaba. He was living in a town called Dalaba in Guinea. So he was there.
That's
Then
in
he got
footage.
sick. Then they took him to the hospital.
That's sad.
Yeah, that's in footage alone in Dalaba. It's right in the middle. That's why the Niger River actually is stem from right there.
Yes, yes.
Died
And
in
Mary
the European
Makiba, you know
country
Mary
called
Makiba from South
Romania.
Africa? Mary Makiba died in Guinea too.
Al, how can we?
Yeah.
Al, how can we How can we get the brother from Guinea to get rid of that white woman? Do we need a woman to poison her or something?
No, he's a
He got
French
children by
liaison
her.
officer.
He
You know,
got
Leave
children
my
by her. What you talking about?
Listen,
leave my brother and my my sister-in-law alone, man.
No, but
You
no,
know,
we need
she's
now
no,
French.
we don't need no
Leave her
we don't
alone.
need no we don't need no president with no cracker, bro.
yeah,
If she,
you
oh
can have
god,
one. You can have
if she
one.
bring if she bringing that money in and the country is protected, you know, it's fine.
Isn't she Macron's sister?
It's what?
Isn't she Macron's sister?
No,
Mm,
no,
I
no.
don't think
No, apparently she used to go out. She had something going on with Mac. I don't know if it's true because it's speculation. So
oh
don't
no.
take my word for it. Apparently she used to be out going out with Macron. It was
But you
Macron
know,
ex. Or
But she's a military police in France.
she's
She's
a
in a
gender. She's a
gendarmerie.
gender. She's a top intelligent officer. She's not average
Uh-oh.
woman.
Oh
She's a
my
top.
God.
Mm.
That's it. Might
Yeah,
as
well,
well
it's not a
vote
problem.
CIA. Oh Lord.
She's
I'm
not.
brother, man.
She's a good. Do you know what? She's a good. She's actually tend to be a very calm and collective woman, and I actually she seemed
Okay, let's
trustworthy.
see the
She
policies, you
seemed
know.
trustworthy. She got loads of kids for the man, and I'm sure she loved her kids just like she loved her
Yeah, well,
kids.
don't put it past them CIA, boy. They'll have a father kids with you just to do what they gotta do. You know,
Listen, since she been there with him, yeah, before he became president, she's always been there. She's loyal to him, and she's a family woman, you know, and she don't get involved in politics anyway.
that's
But the
it. She
reality is, as I was saying, in Guinea is the only country in that actually harm the West when it comes to financial. You know, when Guinea have the military coup, aluminium shot up to 123% just in one weekend.
Yeah.
Okay, just one weekend.
right.
So people have aluminium. They refuse to sell aluminium by keeping it in their metal centers. You know, by leaving it there, they're making more money by not selling it because the price went up since then. It never came back down to where it was. Okay, so if you can see how we have some powerful countries in West Africa, but we're not utilizing them properly. You know, and I think we need to look into the Mano River Union. I think if the ECOWAS, you know, was serious, they can give African Americans home. They can find this, you know, citizenship path much more easier. Well, I think my best advice to African Americans who want to come back to the continent is to do it on an individual basis. And if those guys that came in and actually done some good work, the government in the country will be like, okay, yeah, actually, there's few African Americans that came over. They set up businesses. You know, we can see, or they came here, they build a house. You know, they're helping towards the community and so on. They're helping out. So why not? We can give them a nationality. The same thing that Europe is doing. The same thing America is doing. So there's
What
nothing.
country are you from, sir?
At the moment, I
I'm
think
from
when the
I,
business
I'm from
crowd,
Sierra Leone.
yeah,
Yeah.
when the
Okay.
business
Do
crowd,
you know that Sierra Leone is going to build an ICE detention center?
I didn't know that. I doubt it very well.
what, you don't
Okay.
have enough room. You
We
don't have
we
enough room in
we we
America to keep
sending
them.
we Uncle
You don't have
Sam.
enough room in
We're
America to keep
sending
them.
deportation people to
I
Sierra
I never
Leone.
heard of that. I
Well,
never
why
heard
you
of
live in
that.
No, the
America?
people
I
that
never heard.
the people that
That's
they
a lie.
deported to Sierra Leone, they were
So
all
they
Sierra
getting
Leonean.
money. They getting that money. That's
Yeah,
all
we
I'm
don't want
saying.
your money.
So
Build it in
they're gonna be
America.
building
Ain't our
more
problem.
bigger ones out that way.
Why don't you build it in America? Why you got to send them to Africa? You got enough land?
I don't think he's not telling the truth. He's lying. I never
I'm not
heard of it. I
lying.
never
No,
heard of that.
I'm not lying. You just
The only
do
place,
your own
the
research
only
when you get
place,
the
the only
time.
place, the only place in West Africa non-African be deported to so far is Ghana, and that's it. And
Sierra
one of the women that was,
Leone has
They're
gotten the
pushing that
money
IQ.
to build
Mm.
a
I
detention
don't
center.
believe.
That's not true,
I don't.
son.
We
Yes.
have not true.
No.
Not true. I
Okay.
keep up with the news regularly.
In
Not
fact,
true. That
Sierra Leone is a very good country in terms of, they have religious freedom in Sierra Leone. They don't have religious fight in Sierra Leone at all. That's one of the. It's a
yeah
very liberal country, and they
yeah
have religious tolerance too. You could see you
very
can go to a family home in Sierra Leone. A wife is Christian, the father is Muslim. Some of the children are
mm,
Christian. It's only in Sierra Leone that I saw someone who is Christian Muslim. They both go to both church in and Marx.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
they are very
That's why
liberal.
that
You know,
very true, and that's why when people call here and say, "Oh, you're Fulani, you this, you that,"
nah.
it's like it's like these people are so big. They
Yeah,
actually
so
found
Fula
more of
is
the
different.
terrorists.
Even the Fula in
Very,
Sierra Leone is
very,
different. It's completely
very
different.
different.
They are very
I think they are
liberal.
the most very progressive. Very. I
Yeah,
think they are. To be honest, if Nigeria were to swap, I think Nigeria needs to swap some of the fullers in Sierra Leone and take them to Nigeria,
yeah,
put them in Abuja, and take some of those dusty ones in the north and bring them to the city and educate them a little bit. That will
yeah.
help because we did that with the Yorubas and the others. So we should be doing that with those dusty fullers in the Sahel who is causing trouble, or maybe not the one that causing trouble. They need to be wiped out. Those are actually, want to get somewhere in life, who want to progress. Those Sierra Leoneans in the fullers in Sierra Leone are one of the most
You know, they are
progressive
very
black people in the world.
civilized. Very, very. Highly
Yeah.
educated,
Mm.
civilized. You don't have no
Yeah.
religious
Yeah.
problem like in Nigeria. No, no.
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 No. I think, to be honest with you, see, it's Sierra Leone, Guinea, Senegal, um, all these coastal countries, they tend to be a bit more liberal. Sierra Leone
Liberal.
is extremely liberal. They are
Extremely
extremely
liberal.
liberal, Sierra Leone. Because when we went to Guinea, yeah, even though I'm a Fuller,
Hmm.
the Fuller people in Guinea don't see me the same because they
No,
see me
no,
like
no.
more like a,
Yeah.
I they find me strange because they think this guy is very westernized.
Right, right.
He as he drinks, he smokes,
Yeah.
and he dressed certain ways. And in
Right.
fact, the Sierra Guineans, they did not like Sierra Leoneans for that because they said we brought a lot of bad influence in their country.
Right,
Because
right,
Guinea is
right,
quite conservative, right? And
right, right.
they're very conservative in Guinea, very conservative, but
Yeah,
they're very
very, very.
tolerant.
Right. But you
Yeah,
see,
very
you don't
tolerant.
matter your wife. She's Madingo from Gambia.
She's Madingo, but
Yeah.
the problem with one thing people saying she's Madingo from Gambia,
Hmm.
I is something I question because she have a route to Connaught district
Hey
in
guys, I gotta
Sierra
go.
Leone where the mine.
Next time, bro.
Okay, she yeah she find that's where her family. She belonged to the Fuller and the she's mixed. Some of her brothers are Fuller and
Okay.
some of her brothers
Or Fatoumata Sise, right? Yeah. Okay.
yes, I bet to differ. I think she's Sierra Leonean, but you know how people are like, they were like, oh yeah, she come from this country, she come from that country. But there's a big chance,
Right.
based on what I know, that she's from Sierra Leone. But people in the country at the moment, the political, Sierra Leone is being contaminated by a lot of, because a lot of them are online and they say a lot of stuff. In fact, when they're trying to counter their narrative, they will insult you because the political, situation has been heated in the last few years in the country. So I just
Right.
trying to help people and guide them just to be a bit more rational in your thinking. Don't get too one-sided because they have two parties that rule the country. They have both drove the country to the ground, and people had enough of both of them. So it's just one of
Right.
those. But I think she's from Sierra Leone in Connaught district. Okay,
Okay.
and that's because I'm kind of related to her. But the thing is, a lot of people are saying
Okay.
otherwise. But if they cannot prove it, I don't know how they're gonna. It's a very difficult one, CD. But she's a
Yeah.
Mandinka, yeah. She's a Mandinka, and she got brothers who are half Fuller because Mandinka are married to Fuller. Fuller are married to Mandinka,
Oh
especially in
yeah,
Sierra
yeah,
Leone.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Very, very high mix.
yeah,
From
yeah,
Sierra
yeah.
Leone to Guinea, it's like we know that by the last names, right? We like when someone is certain last name, we know that person is mixed with Fuller Mandinka,
Right, right,
and
right,
some
right.
people, you know. But she's very close. In fact, is the when she, to be honest, if she's one of the people that help him come back to power because majority of the votes that Bio had in the first time it was from
Mm-hmm.
the fuller population. They
Okay.
wanted him because they see him as someone that ended war. And remember, a lot of Fuller people lost their businesses in the country.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
they control you as you mentioned rightly the other time. Fuller people control most of the businesses in West Africa, and
Yep.
Sierra Leone is one of them. Uh, so and most of the properties in the capitals are owned by the Fullers and the Creole,
The Creole.
and
Yeah.
so that was yes, so that was destroyed heavily, and they thought it was a savior because also Sierra Leone was under a one party system. It wasn't even
APC.
democratic.
Yeah.
APC, yes, that's right. And when he came to power, he stopped that. It's like, no, you cannot be in power for too long and just monopolize the system. So I will have to make this democratic. And then he held an election, and like what Dumbuya did, but he left the power. He left power when he had
He
the
went to
election. He
Ghana.
didn't
He
go
went
into
to
power.
school in Ghana. Yeah.
He went to Ghana. He went to and there you go. And even because he went to Ghana, even though he's a Mendes Shabro, there are a lot of idiots online. Oh, the president is not from Sierra Leone. He's from Ghana. I'm not thinking, God, guys, stop this nonsense. He's from Ghana, and then he's from Sierra Leone. Sorry, he's from the Shabro land, yeah, and where you call Bont Island. But the thing is, you have the one party that ruled the country. He actually divided it to make it to a democratic state where you have SLPP and APC both contesting.
Yeah.
So
And
he
Tijan
actually
Kaba came into power, right? Tijan Kaba, when he had the
we're
election.
still missing him in that country, man. He was such a gentleman. Okay.
Oh, really? Wow.
Pakaba was a gentleman because they did
Mm-hmm.
not want him to rule. They did not want Pakaba to rule, right? They kicked him out. He ran to Guinea, okay, and he was in Guinea. He was my neighbor, Tijan Kaba. Before he became president, we used to go there. Me and my brothers, we used to go and play with him. Like he used to give us he's such a gentleman. He worked for the UN for years, served this country all the ways, and then he came back. He wanted, to be a president in the country. He won the election, but then the rebels came over. Yeah, then the rebel came over and they kicked him out. He went to Guinea, and then the former president, General Lansana Conte, who he was a very strong military guy, and he's the one that took him back. Yeah, the Guinea military took. The Guinea military took him back in the middle of all this problem. They drove from Conakry all the way to Free.
Yeah, I was in Freetown at that time. I was going to Farabi College at that time.
Yeah, the Guinea military is like, you know what? You dare touch him? Yeah, so they took him back.
It was Johnny Paul Krumah, right? And this guy,
Johnny Paul Krumah,
Said Musa came from London, and then he killed himself.
Yes, S.A.J. Musa was Bill Boy. He was one of Bill Boy's, man. That was one of his boys when they took power. And Valentin Strasser. Valentin Strasser,
he was the president.
Yes, before Bill. Yeah, and so he kind of brought the country back to democracy. So eventually, in history, so this is the second time now. I hope the people remember him as someone that brought democracy in the country and part of the people who end the war, regardless of his performance or whatever happens. Because we always had bad leaders in Africa. But there are certain things that they do good where you can say, you got to give them that credit, right? So that's how I see President Bill. I don't have a lot of bad things to say about them because they family. So it's a bit weird for me to talk about them. But when it comes to Guinea, I think Guinea is the country that a lot of people overlooked, bro. And even you see, I think you should try and explore Guinea more because there's a lot of opportunity coming up in Guinea.
No, I have property in Guinea. I have a property in Guinea, Lambain. This was the first place I had my first property. Guinea is very good, and they are the most beautiful women in West Africa.
Oh yeah. Yes. Lambain, I know Lambain very well.
Lambain.
If you take the route de Prince, that's what you take it down there.
Yeah,
Lambain. I mean, if you look at the infrastructure that he's doing, and he's building a lot of nice houses. Dynus, I don't know if you remember, Dynus remember a guy called Diallo that was here. He's doing a lot of YouTube and he's filming some of these properties, and I think he already got some of his hands on them. There are a lot of money in Guinea. Guinea is a country with money, man. When a lot of Sierra Leoneans thought Sierra Leone was blessed, Guinea was dusty. But when they went to Guinea, they didn't want to go back.
Yeah,
they didn't want to go back to Sierra Leone because they have more electricity. They have more tap water going. The roads are better. Food is cheap. The nightlife is good. The only thing is you got to get used to Guinea because it's highly militarized. Yeah, it's highly military. Yeah, you have to be careful because you can't go there and fight.
I'm using my African name.
Say that again.
I'm using my African name.
What's your African name? Let me see.
Taharka.
Oh, Taharka. Oh, that's a good. That's go back to the that's the Egyptian name, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Kush.
Yeah, Kush.
That's a cool name.
Taharka. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
like
you see,
that.
you know,
Cool,
Guinea,
man.
Guinea is the only country, I mean, French-speaking country that have his own currency. You know, they didn't take the
Yeah.
franc CFA. They said no, they were not going to
No.
accept the franc CFA.
But
No.
Al,
No.
let me ask you a question. Is Burkina
Mm-hmm.
B still on the show?
Hmm?
Burkina B, is he still on the show?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
what?
still here. I'm still here.
Yeah.
He's still here?
Yeah.
Let me ask you a
Yeah, I'm
question.
Mm-hmm.
still here.
Yeah, let me ask you a question. Did the president of Guinea called Abraham Traoré a poster boy? Did I read that right?
Yes, I mean, they had talks. I mean, they had meetings. They talked to each other, right? But there's
Mm-hmm.
nothing official that came out of it. Like, unless they're like, Ibrahim Traore himself said that there's many presidents who came to him and told him secretly that they were interested in joining the AES. All right. It's just that, like, he also said that many other preferred, like, explain to him why they wouldn't be able to, because like they're too compromised. So he got both. He got some of the ones that are compromised who came to him and congratulated him for what he's doing and explain why they wouldn't be able to join. And you have those others who express their interest in joining the AES. It's just that, like, they're still working all together to make it easy so that, like, more countries can join. But like Ibrahim Traore decided to keep it a secret. He didn't, like, disclose who those people were, but he talked about it in one of his speeches.
Let me tell you one thing, right? All this AES thing, I can tell you how it all
Like,
started.
did I
Slowly, right?
answer right? Is this what you wanted to know?
Okay, yeah. I mean, he had you. You see, Ibrahim Traore that you hear about, and Mamadi Doumbouya, and Assimi Goïta. These are brothers. These are brothers from the
Right,
same people. They're the same people. As Bang was
right,
telling me
right,
the other day, Assimi Goïta is Bambara and Afulani. Traore is a Bambara. Probably he look more like a Mandinka and Bambara.
Yeah, he's
Okay,
Madinga. Yeah.
Mandinka. Yeah, exactly. And Dumbuya is a Mandinka. Okay, so these guys are brothers. For anyone that thinks these guys are actually enemies, they don't understand. Traore's actually father came from Guinea.
Mm-hmm.
His father came
right.
from Guinea. Guinea is where they breed the men's in Africa. So see that. Yeah, I like CD.
Yeah,
It's
we
where
all
the
speak
men's
the
are
same
breed.
language. Yeah, these are my tribal
Yeah,
men.
yeah,
I know that we all speak
yeah.
the, even this guy, Alassane Ouattara, he's a Madingo
Watara,
from Guinea
Mandinka.
Bissau. I mean from Burkina
Yeah,
Faso. He's Burkina B.
yeah,
He's not
yeah. Man,
Madingo
and the
from
guy,
Yes,
Ivory Coast. He's
Alassane.
from Burkina Faso.
yeah, yeah. For my
Yes,
Burkina
yes,
Faso,
Alassane Ouattara.
because
Yeah.
yeah, wait. So Mandinka and Fula, the one advantage that we had after the Mali Empire, we spread out and we organize
Yeah.
ourselves and we stick to our religion. Okay, we don't interfere in other people's business. We work with the other tribes. I don't know what happened in Nigeria. It's really shocking what happened there. But in all the other regions, we work with other people that we there with our neighbors. We work with them whether they're Muslim, they're Christians, or they believe in African religion. We
Yeah.
intermarriage. We live together. Politically we share. Everything, but for some reason it doesn't work. And I think Nigeria is not West Africa. Let's be honest. Nigeria is Central West Africa. So the people there are therefore totally different. Even the guy in Ghana is a product of Mali Empire. I don't know if you people know that the President Mahama is a product of the Mali Empire. It's part of the Manding people.
Yeah. His name. He Alassane Ouattara get the same name. Draman
Yeah,
Ouattara. Yeah, they have the same name.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
he's
So
now he's
that's it.
converted to Christianity. That's why he had John Muhammad
Yes,
Dramana. But that is
yes.
Muhammad and Dramana is that his Muslim name. But he converted to Christianity. That's why they call him John.
Thanks.
You
Thank
know.
you. And when Buhari was in power, okay, in Nigeria, that's why what's his name, Ali Yusise, he put Ali Yusise as head of ECOWAS, okay, because he knows, because Buhari is strategist, right? He knows, for having the Mandinka brother, because Buhari is a Fulani from Nigeria. You don't know a lot about Fulani people in the Far West, but he told Ali Yusise is his cousin tribe, so he knows more about the Far region. That's why Ali Yusise has been the longest guy in the ECOWAS. And then he got rid of Yaya Jammeh in Gambia because he was doing a lot of killing. I don't know if you
Yeah.
know that. Yeah, and that's why he replaced Buhari replaced Yaya Jammeh with Adama Barrow.
Adama
And
Barrow,
that's
yeah.
why if you know, yes. In fact, Barrow is the only guy that went to Buhari funeral. From all these West African leaders, he's there. He's there in Nigeria all the time.
Yeah,
He's
he's
very close
Fulani
to
too.
him.
He's Fula. He's Gambia Fula.
His father is Mandinka. His mother is Fula. So he's Mandinka.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So he's there. And if you look at that's what I said to you. Most of the people, most of the countries, and the people that have strength in West Africa and have leverage are the children of the Mali Empire. That's
Yeah.
it. You can't take it. You can't take it from them.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but they just happen to be like that. And that, when the Mali Empire fell, they make sure they can actually keep what they can keep. And the land, Guinea is the one country that learns from the history of Mali by making sure whatever nation we're going to build next, we have to make sure we protect that nation at all costs. That's why the war in Sierra Leone was so brutal. They never allowed it. Liberia never allowed it. Okay, Ivory Coast never allowed it. Now Mali, no, you cannot get through. It's all about knowing what you're doing and having an organized population. You might have problem between one another inside, but you can manage it inside. Don't let it go outside. This is what family is about. And this is what black people need to learn from. We need to learn from working with each other, and we all related one way or another. Trust me. The entire West African tribes that you see today, be Fula, be Mandinka, be Susu, be
Africa,
Soninke, all
Africa,
this, yeah,
Africa.
yeah,
I,
yes, I
I
am.
also wanted to let you know. I also wanted
Yes.
to let you know that Burkina Faso
hmm
have like a small Fulani population as well, like
Yeah,
the northern part of Burkina
very,
Faso.
yes, I've seen that. And
Yeah,
Thomas Sankara was a Fulani, right? His father was Fulani, his mother was Mosi, right?
yeah, but right. He was half.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, half
right,
mostly. That's what I'm trying to say to you. So these are the people who have always stand up for the black race of West Africa and the region and our sovereignty. So these people that's going on
right,
to like Traore, Chiami, Dumbuya, all these guys, this is nothing new. We always have fought for our sovereignty, and we are very nationalistic in our mindset. Like in Senegal, for example, these are the similar people. Same.
right,
But that's what I think. That's what I always say the last time to the Nigerian brothers. Let's us in West Far West, like from Niger Republic, Burkina Faso, all the way to Guinea, Sierra Leone, Liberia. Let's all work together and make sure we can keep the Nigerians with arm length. Okay. I'm not saying this in a bad way. It's because they have some problem that cannot easily be solved. Okay, and is a chronic problem, and I think they will be, and also the population is going to explode furthermore, and they're going to need land, and we cannot afford to have people that we don't. I'm going to sound xenophobic here, but we cannot afford to have people that have opposite mindset and way of life to us, because we manage to keep what we got and keep this peace, and that stability within our people, and the differences. I
right,
understand in Burkina Faso, you have some Fulani who managed to join the Tuaregs and doing the killings. I understand that. But then you have a very strong Fulani military guys who are nationalistic in mind, that joined the Burkina military, like the head of the Burkina army now, who is fighting the guys because
right,
he's thinking this is wrong. So you don't have that in Nigeria, you see. You don't have that because what in Nigeria, when they start talking about it, they start thinking, "Oh, my tribe, my tribe." Like we can oppose our own people. We will be the first person that say, "Oh, right." Like
but
CD come here so many
but if
times.
you
Look at let CD.
if
CDs
you
belong to the
if
same, yeah, but he opposed them, right? CD
right,
don't agree with their
I mean,
wrongdoing,
Yeah,
and that's the same thing. Yeah.
no disrespect to other Fulanis, okay? Like
hmm
no
hmm
disrespect to the Fulanis from Nigeria or nothing like that. But the
Yeah.
Fulanis from Burkina Faso are a little more civilized.
Yeah.
So
They are.
they're not caught
Honestly,
up into.
yes.
no.
Pardon me?
You're right.
The Fulani from
You
Nigeria have a lot of problems. Nigeria get a lot of problems. They have a
yeah.
lot of issues.
I
Right,
don't know
Even when it
why.
comes down to religion, the way they take the Islamic religion, not the other West African, not like that. That's why you see the
Nah. We
northern
see.
part
right,
of Nigeria is so behind, it's so backward because
Yeah.
the you know.
Right.
They have been captured by. If you look at northern Nigeria, where Borno is, like that part of the world, they're not far from Chad, okay, and they're not far from Sudan. This is the corridor of the
Right.
East. And this is where most of the deadly, like Janjaweed and all these Arab haters, the Shua Arabs. No, I'm not going to blame all of them, like, or, like some of the Kanuris, which us, the Fuller, some of us have light color skin because we mix with them in the Lake Chad region. And I think that's why someone was
Right.
mentioning about the R1B1. It's those Fuller in Nigeria he's counting. The Fuller in the far west of Africa, the
Right.
genetic is not, don't have that. They're different. Fulanis are not the same in all regions. That's what people don't understand. Even genetically, they can be different.
Right.
People don't see. They think when they say Fulani is a race, they all got the same genetic. They all look no. Fulani, there's Fulani that's
Right.
dark. There's Fulani that's light. There's Fulani that's flat nose. Fulani with pointy nose. There's Fulani. But one thing we notice about our people in West Africa in general, we tend to have the almond-shaped eyes. Most of us Manding
Right.
West African people have the almond-shaped eyes. We cannot hide that.
All right,
But
Dennis.
yeah, I mean,
I think you guys, man. Good night, man. Dennis, good night. Good night, everybody. I'll talk to you again.
all right,
See,
bro.
my
Have a
brother.
good,
Take
have a
care,
good
bro.
one. See you
Thank you,
soon.
Sidi. Thank you. Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So I think, but
it's
Fulanis are almost in every West African country.
yeah, they are.
Like
They are.
they're spread it all over the
They
place.
they are all the way to in fact in Cameroon also, and they in fact, like I was speaking to a Cameroonian brother. He said to me the worst mistake they ever made was to have to lose Aijo, who was the first president of Cameroon. Okay, and
Okay.
he was the first person. Yes, and he got exiled by the French, and they replaced him with a puppet called Paul Biya because he did not want to do the French bidding, and they thought,
Yeah.
right, you need to go. And so
Mhm.
he from Cameroon, like all the way to like Guinea, Sierra Leone, you're gonna find full of people, but they came from the west. In Niger Republic, they are there, and in fact, in Niger Republic, they call Fulani people of the west because they came from West Africa and settled with them, and
Wow.
obviously intermarriage.
Hmm.
Yeah. So the reality is what we have in Nigeria is a bad cocktail of people who actually hate other people for their religion and their tribes and their region. So you have three multi-layer problems, and that
It's
is a
crazy.
big issue for and with the amount of population they have, I pray to God they don't go into war, because if they ever go into war, the entire West Africa is going to blow up with population. That's the reality.
Hopefully, it never happens.
Yeah, and it's funny. The only people are giving you guys problem in the AES,
Right.
majority of them, is coming from Nigeria. Nigeria
It's
is the one
true.
that's always inviting the invaders to come in. Like as you heard what Louis said earlier, they always work with Ghana always work to people from the west, and but Nigeria is allowing them to build a base, and I think it's a
Right.
good reason why Niamey, the capital city of Niger Republic, is actually placed where it is placed today, because
Yeah.
it's not
By the way,
in of.
I wanted to take opportunity to get back to Mahama, the president from Ghana, because I know that you guys were talking about him earlier. So I personally think he has a good spirit, okay, in the sense that like so far he proved himself to be friendly to the AES, right? So, but the only thing is that I have doubts about him, okay? Because I don't know if you remember, not so long ago, the United States forced him to accept deportees, like from the US, and those
Yeah.
weren't even Ghanaians. Those were like deportees from like gangsters from different countries that the United States didn't
Right.
want in the United States. And if I'm not mistaken, Mahama accepted them. He accepted to receive them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you followed that.
Yeah, I know. I
You
thought
didn't hear about
Sierra
that?
Leone, one Sierra Leonean sister by the name of what was the city would have helped me, because she's a Konate, by the name of Konate, was deported to Ghana, and she was picked up from
Okay.
work, and she wasn't well treated
Okay.
in Ghana. And I remember Sierra Leoneans were saying, how can Ghana do that to their own brother country? Because Ghanaians in Sierra Leone, they used to be everywhere in Sierra Leone, but when Ghana was a very poor country, because Ghana was one of the poorest countries in West Africa at those days. Like those
Okay,
that those
but
people
what
that
I'm
those guys, yeah, those guys that polish your shoe in the streets, like that clean your shoes, and that's what they used to do. They used to
oh
come
yeah,
there,
yeah.
hustle hard. Yeah, it's a message to the African American brother, just to let him know we're not against African American. That's how the Ghanaians and
Okay.
Nigerians used to come to Sierra Leone. They used to come to the offices area,
Oh.
like with and they clean people's shoe and get a bit of money, repair like their shoes and that. And they stay there, speak the language, and they get the passport and they come to England because Sierra Leone passport it was visa free until one of our presidents decided to stop it. It's not the British; it's our own
Oh.
president that decided to stop. Yeah,
Okay. But like
yeah.
what I'm trying to say is that like among the deportees, I know that there were gangsters from different countries also that were part of the deportees that Ghana accepted.
Okay, see.
Yeah,
And
that's
also,
crazy. So
yeah, they tend to accept a lot of bullshit from coming from the West, because I remember when the anti-terror pack, as I said, I was asking Luis to answer the question to me, why did Ghana sign that pack? Because since they signed that pack, we had loads of problem in the Sahel because they allowed
right,
foreign troops to be So, and I remember
right,
the problem in Burkina Faso was going on for years, and Ghana refused to help Burkina Faso. And I had
right.
conversations with St. James and another brother from Ghana years ago. I was asking the brother, why did
Yeah,
Ghana sat on their hand for years when Burkina Faso is crying? They never helped
right,
Burkina Faso. Never.
right.
Why?
But I mean the new administration seemed to be a little better, right? It's just that like at the sight of moves like that he made recently, like accepting gangsters from other countries that are not even Ghanaians, right? So things like that make me doubt him a little. But so far, officially, he proved himself to be friendly to the AES, because every time he had to meet them or to collaborate with them positively, like he did, you know.
Yes.
So it's just that some of his other moves are shady. You get what I'm saying?
Mm. You see,
So
and
that's
I
why.
mean, yeah, he does seem like a guy that know what he's doing, and he ran the economy well when he was in power. Like even like North place like North of Nigeria. If someone asks me now, the first thing to do is to change
Okay.
the Sultan of Sokoto. I think someone like Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, he was a very bright guy. He used to be the central bank governor of Nigeria. He should be the next
Okay.
sultan because he's very liberal, he's very educated. He lectured in Cambridge here, and he's lectured to scholars. Okay, and even John Mahama said to me, he said to Sanusi Lamido, the reason why Ghana economy is successful and managed to have the system that they have in place, he said it's because
Mhm.
he learned it from Sanusi Lamido and in Nigeria when he was the bank governor. That's how bright the guy is.
Right.
And he said he didn't have to go outside, to go and find expertise. But working with him, he learned a
Right.
lot. And in the sense, so there are a lot of intellectuals in northern Nigeria like him who could actually, because
Mhm.
the current sultan that they have in Nigeria, he was a former brigadier
Mhm.
general in the military. Okay,
Okay.
you understand? He's a sultan, so
Yeah.
he's more in that war. He's more in that war kind of Lord Sultan than a peace sultan, because the other one is the emir. The sultan is the one that is in control. The emirs. The emirs are just like in a different states or region in the north.
Okay.
And don't forget, people. Don't forget, northern Nigeria is 130 million. It's the size of a population of 14 countries.
Wow.
Just enough.
How many? 40 million? 40 million?
130 million people in northern Nigeria as we speak.
Oh, that's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And
So,
they're all compressed in a small territory.
yeah, and they always cry
Nigerians
about,
love.
It's not big. They're going to need land in the future, and I think we need to we need to be ready for that because the population is expanding, and the fastest growing population in the region is actually coming from that Sahel as well. Not only northern
Yeah, I
Nigeria, you
know.
Sahelians. I don't know what's going on with these Sahelians, but fertility rate is quite high. Yeah,
I know. I
and I think
know. They're making
yeah,
many
and that's
babies.
why. Yeah, I don't know if it's polygamy or maybe it's a diet, but for some reason you're having more kids than the rest of the region, and how are you going to cater for
Yeah,
them in terms of educating
polygamy.
them? Yeah,
Polygamy definitely
but
has
that's
something to do with it.
yeah, okay,
Yeah, polygamy
okay.
has something to do with it, definitely. But
So
like,
don't you think
yeah,
don't you think that's a bit counterproductive because that's going to create more population and less educated people, less opportunities, more breeding ground for terrorists?
yeah, yes and no. I mean, like, if the other countries follow what the AES is doing, but then like they're going to be able to like to contain the situation, you know. So
Okay,
because the
okay,
AES is doing the right thing. It's the neighboring countries that are
okay.
not following up. I mean, what I mean is
Mm,
that the other countries that are like sort of being slow to follow the example, right? Those countries are
yeah,
gonna keep that old pattern going. You get what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because the AES is
yeah, and that's
Ibrahim Traore is doing his best. You know, he's trying to give like free education. He's doing
yeah.
everything he can to like to help. You know, to
Mm.
fix the situation.
Someone's Yeah, I mean, someone is saying Nigeria is big enough, but it's not big enough for enough land for food because most of the food in the 80% of Nigerian grain is coming from northern Nigeria. Most of their food is coming from the north because the other region in Nigeria, in the south, even though it's big forestry, it's not good for agriculture. So that's why
Right,
a lot of this conflict is there also because they're using because don't forget the Sahel is not people think the Sahel is just a dust, but the Sahel in the raining season is a beautiful landscape,
right.
beautiful,
It's true.
and
It's true.
yeah, absolutely, and also that's why they used to call it Sweet Sahel, and also when you look at the desertification that's going on in the Sahel, is another big problem you guys are not tackling at the moment. You're busy fighting, but the desert is eating into the south. And I'm not giving
It's
anybody
true.
excuse for being a terrorist, but and they trying to build like Senegal again, another high IQ population in the region are the only people that's currently
Right,
building the green wall. They're only the only country who's building the green wall to counter this desertification in West Africa. Because if that continues,
right,
we in Burkina Faso we'll be moving further down or in Guinea or in Sierra Leone will be going down and down and down and seeking more fresh land. And that's going to create problems. So by creating,
right,
by building the green wall, because you do still have rainforest, you still have the River Niger running through, you can actually turn all that place to green. And what they've done in Senegal is absolutely unbelievable. They're doing it themselves, and the areas where they done the already turning green, my friend, if you walk around there, you feel like in Europe. It's unbelievable, beautiful.
yeah,
Even- So
it's
you
true.
guys, when you finish your war, the first thing you should do is try and get your greenery back, so you can have so you have
Right.
those dust, so you don't have no dusty Fulani coming down with their cattle eating your farm.
Okay, but by the way, I just remembered about things that you said earlier. Like earlier, you see when you were
Yeah,
conversating with Louis, you guys talked about like the development in Senegal and the development in Ivory Coast, right? So I'm gonna take
yes,
opportunity here to get back to what I told you yesterday. But then now I'm gonna
okay,
explain it even better because now I have more time. So I'm gonna explain it to you even better because I didn't have enough time to finish what I was telling you yesterday. Okay. Because you see,
mm,
the Ivory Coast initially, like
mm.
ever since Ofouet Boigny, you told me that you know who Ofouet Boigny was, right?
Yes, I know him.
Like, yeah,
I
exactly.
had him.
So
Mm,
ever since that time, right? Ever since his time, Ivory Coast
mm,
always had like a very large French population. Those were like French people from France who enjoyed living in Ivory Coast. You get what I'm saying?
right. Mm,
So what happened is that as soon as Laurent Gbagbo came, as soon as
mm,
Laurent Gbagbo came in power, but then what he
mm,
did is that him and like his people, like his political party and even militaries and like all the people that were like with him, they decided all together to kick all the French out. You get what I'm saying? And like I was telling you also, he actually had like ideas, similar ideas to Ibrahim Traore at the time. You get what I'm saying? He was trying to like to build for the people. He privatized like private is this the right way to say privatize? Like you nationalize? No, privatize. He privatized many of the goods of the country.
Okay.
Meaning that the goods of the country, like he made it for the people, for the government. You get what I'm saying? Because before that, the French owned many of the resources. So then what he did the opposite. He made it so that it's the people through the government who own. You get what I'm saying? Right. I don't have like the technical words to say it, but I'm just saying it so that you can understand. You understand what I'm trying to say, right?
Yeah, I understand that. That's the thing. Most of the time when they privatize these companies, it's not because of the privatization. It's because they end up selling it to their own closer bodies, and they end up sharing the profit. Or they don't do it in the interest of the nation. They do it on their own interest. That's the problem. If
we're going to go ahead and close out. Everyone, thanks so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, family. Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru. Peace.
Danful offers unparalleled, curated, and bespoke tours across Africa for travelers seeking genuine cultural experiences, enriched with magnificent sights, sounds, and flavors found on the continent. Each trip is reliably curated to ensure visitors are gifted with an immersive and authentic adventure. Whether you find yourself strolling along the charming white sand beaches of Sierra Leone, feasting on the mouth-watering delicious foods in Senegal, observing or partaking in various aspects of the Isheshi traditional system Ifa native to Yoruba land, Nigeria, with Danful, you will rediscover a fulfilling sense of kinship to the true heart of the motherland, her communities. Our core values focus on integrity, quality, safety, and sustainability. We are uniquely committed to assisting with the advancement of African infrastructure and promoting African businesses, so both travelers and the communities they visit receive beneficial exchanges. At Danful, we understand the importance of connectivity, and we have created a model which provides bespoke experiences based on your passions or hobbies. With us, expect a long-lasting spiritual bond between you and your destinations. Live, love, Danful, Africa. To learn more, visit danful.africa.